This is the Jason Gregor Show.
Low free by Kane. Now, McDavid.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Back to McDavid. Draisaitl.
On Sports 1440.
And the Oilers Nation YouTube channel.
Set up. They actually redid a lot of the TVs in here, and of course they play all the sound. If you're looking for a great place to watch the game with about 400 or 500 of your closest Oiler fan friends, do it here tonight. Jasper Ave and 118th Street. I'd recommend. Wanted to get here definitely before puck drop. If you want to get a seat, there's going to be lots of standing room only at the bar, etc. So you can do that. You get 60-cent wings throughout the game, $4.50 beers. So it's a great deal, Jasper Ave and 118th Street. So set for that. It's going to be a fun Thursday night. And to make it even more fun, here's some numbers for you, Oiler fans. Go to playalberta.ca, of course, title sponsor of our show, where you use the promo code Gregor50. That's Gregor50. And that will get you a free $50 play as well. Well, as long as you'd make a $5 deposit. Now, some numbers for you if you're big into numbers. In the salary cap era, the home team who comes home for game 3, having lost both games on the road, it's happened 12 times. Those teams 10-2 on home ice in game 3. We saw it last year with the Panthers. You saw it in 2002 before Colorado was able to defeat Tampa Bay. It's happened quite often. It happened in 06. Edmonton Oilers fans remember that one? Losing 2 in Carolina. The first one was gut-wrenching because you had a 4-1 lead and ended up losing that one 5-4. Rolison got injured. Everybody knows what happened. Which came back, won game 3, lost game 4, then 1-5, 1-6 to make it a 7-gamer. And we'll see the Edmonton Oilers not looking too far ahead. They are just looking for one game tonight, and they need a win. And it is going to be loud. It is going to be rocking the entire city. You know, just driving here from the rink, man, I saw more jerseys today, I think, than I've seen any other time. People are fired up. Everybody feels like, you know what? I got to do my part. So whether you're coming on the rocks, you're going to have a house party. Maybe you're one of the few lucky ones who will have tickets to the game. Enjoy it because it's going to be a hell of a night. Jasper Ave and 118th Street here for On the Rocks, and of course down at the rink. Now, Oilers lineup. Many of you wondering what's the lineup tonight? Can't say for certain. Now, if Chris Knobloch, who's never really led us astray, yesterday said he expects Nurse to play, so I'm going to believe the coach. Also said Corey Perry, very likely he's in, so I'll believe him. So Nurse stays in, Perry comes in. That means a forward's coming out. Now, Sam Carrick was out very late at the morning skate today. My spidey sense tells me he's out, but I can't see how they make they could make just a Carrick for Perry trade, and then you're going to run McLeod and Henrique as your third and fourth line center. So you could do that, right? And then that means Kane stays in. They would have Henrique with Brown and Janmark, McLeod with Fogle and Perry. So they could do that, but you know, there's lots of people speculating they think Evander Kane's not going to go tonight. Now, he was on the ice yesterday, which is odd. But only for a brief time before practice, and then he left. Obviously, didn't skate the morning skate. He hasn't skated the morning skate all playoffs. So we'll find out for sure. You know what? There's a chance with Carrick not playing Perry's in, maybe Derek Ryan's in. Like, I won't be shocked. They probably want a right shot center, could help them at times, because the Oilers, their top three centers, Draisaitl, McDavid, and Henrique, not having a great time in the faceoff circle so far in this series. They're a combined 39%. Not ideal. Henrique's only 25%. He's only won 5 of 20. McDavid's won 7 of 21. Now, Draisaitl's taken the most faceoffs. He's won 22 out of 45, so just slightly under 50%. And then you look at the three guys who've taken the most faceoffs in Florida, Barkov, Lundell, and Kevin Stenlund, who's 72%, leads all faceoff men in the dot. He's won 9 of 13. He's been very good for them in the faceoff circle through 2 games. I know it's only 2 games, but everything's magnified now. Every faceoff's a little bit more important, and the Oilers would like to get a little bit more faceoff victories tonight. So we'll see. Panthers doesn't look like there'll be any lineup changes for them. They'll go with the exact same lineup they've won 2 games in a row, and hey, it makes sense. Why would you change when things are rolling for them? So we'll get to that. You can always get involved. You can text us 833-401-1440 in our inbox 833-401-1440. Got a lot of thoughts and text on it. My simple question for you today is, what's the temperature? Let's get the temperature of Oilers fans here on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, and Facebook. What's your thoughts? Oilers winning? Nervous? Excited? This is how I look at the series. I don't think Edmonton has yet to play their best game. Now, and I got to give Florida credit, because I felt like in Game 2, Florida did a really good job of not allowing Edmonton to really gain much momentum. They moved the puck out very quickly. Edmonton was chasing a lot more, and by chasing, I mean a lot of times just on the back check, because Florida moved the puck out quickly. And, Edmonton, Ryan McLeod had mentioned it kind of tired us out. All right, good for them. So the Oilers in Game 1, at least for the first 2 periods, controlled much of the play. They got to get back to that. They are the faster team. I had it in my game notes today at OilersNation.com that the Oilers in the postseason, there's been no team with more 20-mile-an-hour bursts than the Oilers. They have 524. Florida has 272 amongst their forward group. Edmonton is a faster forward group. There's no question. Now, defense, it's pretty even. Florida's had 86. Edmonton's had 83. Right? So they're pretty even. Now, Nurse, of course, their best skating defenseman. He didn't play much the last game. Would he have a few more of those? Maybe it's even? Yes. Now, Dallas, through 3 rounds, had the most. They had a quick defense, and Edmonton was still able to penetrate them. I think that's got to be the key tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. You have to attack Florida. There's got to be some bigger bodies. Their top 4 defense is very mobile. It's not huge, though. And take advantage of it. Make them play a heavier game down low. Right? Go after Brandon Montour a little bit. Go after Gustav Forsling. He's an excellent skater. Right? He's in great shape, great condition. His coach was talking about it. Warren Fogle had said that before the series started. So I get that he's in conditioning. But he's not 6'3" and 230 pounds. The Oilers got to the net against a bigger defense in Vancouver. There's no reason, at least from my vantage point, that they can't do it tonight. So we'll see. We'll talk to Duncan Keith, who was an excellent defender, played tons of minutes, wasn't the biggest dude, highly competitive. So we'll talk to him about what's the best way to give a defenseman like him trouble. Was there a time where he felt like, okay, this is harder for me? So we'll talk to Duncan Keith, of course, 3-time Stanley Cup champion. TR will be by. Alex Baumgartner will give us Florida's side of things coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. Rupper will be by at 4 o'clock. We got Speck, Karras, loaded show for you. Actually, lots of interviews today. We're going to hear from Vincent Desharnais. We'll hear from Chris Knobloch. Also had a one-on-one with Ryan McLeod, Aaron Ekblad, because I think it's important sometimes to get the Florida side of things. It was interesting talking to Ekblad. So he's one of the few guys still in 2024 that wears the plastic over his skates. It's basically a shot block protector. And I asked him, well, when did you use it? He goes, I started in the summertime. He broke his foot last year in the playoffs, played the entire playoffs with it. Said, it was the worst pain he's ever felt. And he goes, I was too stupid to do it beforehand, that being put on the plastic protector. He started wearing it in the summer, and he wore it every day he skated. So he says, because it's more of just, I don't think I can skate. He goes, now that I've skated, he goes, I notice no difference. The only notice I difference is my feet aren't nearly as in much pain because of shot blocking. Right? It was pretty simple. The trainers, you can form fit it right to the skate. It's super easy. I honestly, I don't understand why more players don't wear it, especially guys who block a lot of shots. Right? It's light. As Ekblad said, he goes, I've noticed zero difference other than beneficial for not having the pain. So he played the entire playoffs last year with a broken foot and said, enough. I'm never going through that pain again. So that's why he's got it. And says, you know what? He's taken a few shots off there this year that he feels, might have saved him from at least a bad bruise. And who knows how much of a broken foot. So we'll hear from him. Also, Paul Maurice on why there's because I know a lot of people have got texts, hey, what are the orders going to change? It's hard in game 3 of the Stanley Cup final to suddenly unveil a brand new secret. Right? It just comes down to execution. The orders, they want to play faster. They want to win more battles. Right? Make better outlet passes. Be stronger along the boards. It's not anything new. It's just hammering home the details of what makes you successful and reminding yourself that's what we have to do. If you're 6, inches to a foot from the blue line, get the puck out. You call it, to me, I always used to call that the kill zone, because if you don't, it can kill you. You don't get it out. Next thing you know, a few moments later, it's in the back of your net. Maybe you're a little bit fatigued. Who knows? But it happens all the time. So just the small details. That's what Edmonton's going to want to focus on tonight. The crowd is going to be loud and ready to roll. It should be good. Hey, boys, this should be the Oilers' best game. I'm thinking the Oilers will win, but it has to be a gritty game, and they have to create lots of chaos in front of the net from Craig. I think they would like to generate a little bit more traffic in front of Bobrovsky, no question. But you also have to understand if they've never been a team that, like Hyman goes to the net. Obviously, Corey Perry, that's his thing. But, it's not like suddenly Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Ryan McLeod are going to be guys that are hammering home away in front of the net. You'd like to see it, but it's kind of not in their DNA, right? Like McDavid's not pounding goals in from there normally. So play to your strengths. And Dylan Holloway. I talked to Dylan Holloway. The one thing he's been really trying to work on is he feels he wants to get better on the cycle. And by that, he means when he has the puck, hold on to it longer. He says, you watch Zach Hyman. He's been watching a lot of Hyman, obviously in the game, but then a lot of his film, and how he says, if you watch Zach Hyman, when he gets the puck, he makes something happen. There's a play there. He might hold on it for 2 or 3 seconds, goes to his forehand, back to his backhand, and he rings it back around, gets to your defense, so the play stays alive. He doesn't just get it and look to make a play right away all the time. Now, sometimes you have to if guys are calling, but he feels that's an area of his game as he continues to develop. Like when he was in the minors, he worked on being better and more reliable, smarter defensively. And I think we've seen that. Seen a lot of good stick play from Holloway defensively. The next step in his evolution, he's a very young player, and it's hard to do it in the Cup Finals, is hold on to that puck and hopefully create more plays off of possession in the offensive zone. I thought it was a very fair comment from McLeod that in game 2, they didn't put enough pressure on Florida and allowed Florida to have easy breakouts, and Edmonton was in chase mode, backtracking way too often in that game. Hey, guys, why is Draisaitl getting kicked out of the face-off circle so often? Feels like half the time he's out from a leaf in the wind. Well, I've talked to Leon about this, and he says, hey, you know what? It's about trying to get the timing, right? And he admits, hey, sometimes you're trying to cheat. And so you want to anticipate it. And you know what? It's probably as the series goes along, there's only 4 linesmen. So you know what? They're rotating. You'll know who they are. And I've talked to him. I talked to Kevin Stenlin today from Florida, and he admits everybody drops the puck just slightly different, right? It's impossible to say, hey, we want perfect continuity in how every linesman drops the puck. Some guys a little bit taller. Some, you know what? So where they bend over their release point, that changes some things too. So you want to try to time it so you're essentially cheating. But if you move too early, then obviously you're getting kicked out. So that's what's happened with Draisaitl. What's funny is he's been kicked out of the face. I don't think it's been that much this series, few times, because he's taken 45 draws. That's way more than anybody on either team. Florida's top guy in faceoffs taken is 32. Now they have 3 guys that are kind of a little bit more bunched up. You go from Draisaitl, who's taking 45. Then the next on the orders is McDavid at 21, right? So it drops down quite a bit. He takes a lot of their draws. So he's getting kicked out, but not that crazy amount. Hey, Gregor, what's your thoughts on Kane playing? This one, honestly, like, he's gutted it out every game. And I know that he hasn't been overly effective in this series, right? And obviously didn't score against Dallas. I thought in game 1, he was quite physical, right? And here's the thing. Kane, banged up, still played more minutes than Ryan McLeod in game 2, and McLeod's on the penalty kill. And Kane still played more than him. So, I know a lot of people are thinking, well, if Kane plays, he's not going to play in the top 6. And I guess maybe that's possible, but what, are you going to put Ryan McLeod there? Like, it's a massive upgrade? Right now, I know that Cloud, last time he got promoted out of the press box, he scored a goal. Okay. What are the odds that happens again? I would say maybe low at this point. It would seem a little odd to me. Hey, guys, I think the number one thing we've seen the Panthers take away Hyman in front of the net. So many passes through the crease, he hasn't been able to get his stick on. He's one of the best in the league at it from Nick. Yeah, they do a good job of, getting the lane, tie the guy's stick up, right? Hyman would tell you he's got to do a better job of ensuring his stick is loose and he can deflect pucks, redirect pucks, get a stick on a puck. So that's a little bit of the game within the game, right? Like, does he step out 3 or 4 inches now? Try to get so his stick is open. That's it's definitely valid. So, hey guys, did the centers get tossed sometimes because the wingers move early? James, it happens, but it's not nearly as often as the centerman moving early himself, right? Like, that was one of the new things that came in this season. We've seen it all year long. Right now, if you jump as the center iceman, now you're out. And if the second guy comes in and jumps, it's actually a delay of game. Right. So if the first guy gets knocked out, the second guy is kind of a disadvantage because he can't really take that risk for it, because if the second guy gets tossed out, that's a penalty. Right. That's new in the NHL. So I'm trying to think, have I even seen, did the Oilers have it once? I thought the Oilers might have had it once this year. So we'll get to that. When we come back, Duncan Keith is going to join us. It is the Jason Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, coming to you live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, 118th. You got great cheap wings, also very favorable beer at $4.50. Get it in for a game day here on Sports 1440.
Finals fever is here, and it's all about the Oilers. We're boosting your odds and enhancing your parlays on all playoff games. Every bet on any game enters you into a draw to win seats for the 2024-25 hockey season, or 5 pairs of seats to 5 separate Oilers games for the 2024-25 season. Use promo code Gregor50 when you deposit at PlayAlberta.ca to receive a $50 free sports bet. Join the excitement and cheer on the Oilers. Let's bring it home. Bonus terms and conditions apply.
Christensen Communities, the name in active adult living. Enjoy retirement living without compromise. At Christensen, we understand that each lifestyle is unique. We are committed to providing choice through optional dining, personal services, recreation programs, and care plans to suit your current and future needs. Enjoy maintenance-free living and build new friendships in a safe, independent community. Large suites with full kitchens and in-suite laundry, on-site amenities, and so much more. Find out more today about our communities across the province at cdlhomes.com.
Hi, Jason Gregor for Volvo of Edmonton. This summer, lease the new 2024 Volvo XC60 with 0% finance, or save up to $6,500 on select models for qualifying loyal customers. Plus a free 10-year, 1 million kilometer warranty with all demo vehicles. And if you're thinking hybrid, save $6,000 off all 2024 new and demo XC60 Recharge plug-in models. Discover why we're Canada's only 13-time Volvo Excellence Award winner. 1205 101st Street Southwest, or visit volvocarsedmonton.com.
I'm Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
And I'm Zach Hyman.
And when we're not making juicy, sweet passes,
or having my goals disallowed,
we're working for Legacy Heating and Cooling.
You know, guys used to call me a plumber.
And now they call you an AC repairman.
Nice.
Hey, guys, you're not here to fix air conditioners. You're here to sing the jingle.
Oh.
Well.
Okay.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
No payments and no interest for 1 year from qualified installers. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
This is Paul Sir, host of the Basketball Show on Sports 1440.
Every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to noon, we cover local, international, professional basketball right here on Edmonton's exclusive home for sports talk.
My utility bills are going through the roof. How can I take advantage of the sun and put my lazy roof to work?
Sounds like a job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Energy team reporting. When you're ready to make your home or business more efficient, Action Electrical has the power to install solar panel systems and EV chargers.
Facing an electrical menace? Call on the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta with supercharged skills and strong family values. ActionElectrical.net.
Try the new extra-large New York-style crispy pepperoni pizza only from Papa John's. Get you some of that crispy, curly, cuppy pepperoni on top of an extra-large New York-style crust pizza with creamy tomato sauce and a 3-cheese blend. This ain't around forever, so walk fast like you're in NYC and order one now. The extra-large New York-style crispy pepperoni pizza for just $22.99, only at Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, better get you some.
Hey Edmonton, ready to power up your projects with unbeatable strength and efficiency? Step into Edmonton Kubota, where our massive inventory meets all your needs. From rugged tractors and loaders to nimble mowers and utility vehicles, we've got the machines that work as hard as you do. And guess what? This month, we're rolling out exclusive deals that'll make your heart race faster than our engines. Drive down to Edmonton Kubota or visit EdmontonKubota.com to discover how we can boost your efficiency, productivity, and fun. Edmonton Kubota, powering your passion with every turn of the key.
It's City Ford's Father's Day event. Join us this Saturday for a barbecue, indoor golf, games, and gifts for your dad.
During this Father's Day event, get massive discounts up to $22,000 on brand new F-150s, up to $8,000 on Edges and Broncos, up to $4,700 on brand new Escapes. Plus, 0% financing options are available. Just pick what's best for you.
Get a 2024 Bronco Sport for $209 bi-weekly, or a 2023 F-150 Super Crew for only $297 bi-weekly.
We have 17 previously owned SUVs, all under $500 a month, like a 2020 all-wheel drive Escape, only $187 bi-weekly. Plus, we have trucks galore. Get a 2021 F-150 Super Crew for only $258 bi-weekly.
Exclusive to City Ford. With every purchase, spin and win a barbecue, pressure washer, TV, pizza oven, or a trip to Vegas.
Join us this Saturday for a Father's Day barbecue, indoor golf, cornhole toss, giant pong game, ice cream sundaes, fun for the entire family, and a gift for your dad. But it's only at City Ford on the St. Albert Trail.
Play more, pay less. With Fairways to Heaven. Up next, we're heading to one of Northern Alberta's top-rated golf courses, Athabasca. Simply stunning. Monday, June 17th, a twosome can tee off with us at the Athabasca Golf and Country Club for only $80 with Power Cart. Just $80 for you and a friend. Plus, everyone's invited to join us at Athabasca on June 17th to enter the draw for this season's grand prize, a $1,500 prepaid visa from the Golf Cart people. Or scan the QR code in their showroom. Book now and save big at K97fairways.ca. Fairways to Heaven.
For a limited time at McDonald's, enjoy the tasty breakfast trio. Your choice of chicken or sausage McMuffin or McGriddles with a hash brown and a small premium roast coffee for $5 plus tax. Available until 11 a.m. at participating McDonald's restaurants. Price excludes delivery.
Back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley with you on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, and Facebook. It is Game 3, a pivotal game in the Stanley Cup Final as the Oilers look to get in the win column and really make it a series. And they win tonight. I can only imagine the energy of what's going to be in the city tomorrow, and then more importantly on Saturday, leading into Game 4. For those of you who are downtown, maybe you're going to the Moss Pit, you want to get in line there. There's also the concert. It starts around 4 o'clock Our Lady Peace is playing today. Shania Twain is playing on Saturday. Something tells me there's going to be a lot of people lining up for both of those concerts. So you might want to get there early. Just saying. Hey, you know where there's no lineup right now, but there will be later. On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, 118th Street. Of course, I got everything set up, ready to go. Some new TVs set for Game 3. And hey, all of you, of course, you're hockey fans, but for all of you Euro fans, for soccer, of course, the Euro Cup, all the games they'll be showing right here. And it starts tomorrow. Germany and Scotland get going tomorrow at 1 p.m. So all of you footy fans, bring your scarves. Come down to On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street. Duncan Keith should be joining us momentarily. Of course, the longtime member of the Chicago Blackhawks. Then, of course, played for the Edmonton Oilers, was part of that team that went to the conference final in 2022 as being a member of the organization since. And, I think a perfect guy to talk to, because you look at how Florida defends, right? Like they've got good defense, so they obviously got some size in their third pair. But if you look at Montour and Forsling, like they're not trees. Mikola's a pretty big guy, right? And Keith, I think, made a pretty good career out of knowing how to defend. Now him and Seabrook, and then you had Oduya and Hjalmarsson. Like that top four was unreal. So we'll get his thoughts kind of on Forsling. The Oilers, what he sees from their back end. Because I think the Oilers overall, I think anybody could admit Edmonton's got to play a little bit better, especially than they played in Game 2. And they're capable of it, right? We saw it against Dallas. It's not like Florida is infinitely better than Dallas. They're probably slightly better, but I don't think they're infinitely better. So if you're the Edmonton Oilers, you're feeling, okay, how can we, what can we do? Because they did it in the first game. I thought they generated a lot. What did they have? 15 high danger chances, according to Sport Logic? You get 15 hydrated chances, you definitely be scoring more than 0 goals. So that's kind of an obvious no-brainer statement. So, hey, Gregor, you crunch the numbers and use the teammates tool on natural stretch. You could tell me in the regular season outside the top line which player is most productive with Draisaitl. McLeod should have been glued to Draisaitl as soon as Henrique was acquired. Full stop. From Juice. They had a stretch, right? There was a stretch of games where Fogle, Draisaitl, McLeod. I think it was about an 8-game stretch, right? So, but you got to do it more than that. Now, let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Hockey Super League, a premier hockey solution for long-term development. It offers great borderless hockey and cross-province competition. Check it out at hockeysuperleague.ca. We are joined by a gentleman who's won multiple Norris trophies, won 3 Stanley Cups, going to eventually be in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Former Chicago Blackhawk, also former member of the Edmonton Oilers, now works for the Oilers organization. Duncan Keith joins us. Duncan, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks, Jason. Thanks for having me. Good to be back here in Edmonton.
Yeah, well, hey, it's a good time to come back for the Cup. I'm sure it brings back a lot of great memories for you as a player. You had a little success in the Stanley Cup final a few times, and I want to get your thoughts as a guy who, like, you played a ton of minutes. You were always in unreal shape. You had a great stick. And I was listening to Paul Maurice today, and he was describing Gustav Forsling. And he's like, God, the guy's a freak. He defends more with his stick and his feet than he does, like a lot of the other big 6'4" defensemen. When you watch Forsling, what impresses you about him? And then I'll start there, and then I got a follow-up question on how Edmonton should attack him. So what have you liked about Forsling's game as a defender?
Well, I got to play with Forsling actually back in Chicago, so I know him pretty good. He was younger coming into the league and just trying to break in, and then I think obviously Quenneville knew the potential in him and brought him over to Florida. So, but yeah, he's a smart player. He's not overly big. He's got decent size, but he defends with his smarts and his quick stick and using his skating. He's good defensively and he's chipped in offensively. He makes smart passes. So he's definitely a player that, Florida's lucky to have, that he contributes in a lot of different ways for their group. And he's a guy that I think we probably need to get in there and try to hit as much as we can.
So I was going to ask you, Duncan, at any point, you played against most of the other team's best players the majority of your career. So was there ever like a time where you felt, okay, this style of play, like nobody likes to get hit, so I'm guessing that's Captain Obvious, but was there certain areas you felt like they were harder to defend for a guy of your skill set and your size? And, not comparing Forsling directly to you, but in a similar vein, like how should the Oilers be attacking him that makes him possibly more vulnerable?
Well, I don't know. I think just playing down in their end, making him defend is more tiresome than anything. Playing hard down low, protecting pucks, and grinding it out down low, and using our speed like that, making sure we're not turning the puck over off the rush against him and forcing him to turn back and go get it, and being hard on the forecheck. So those are things that are tough on any defenseman to play against.
Duncan Keith joins us. Duncan, in game one, the Oilers look like the faster team, and they actually are. If you look at all the data at the NHL Edge site, the Edmonton's a much quicker team, especially amongst their forward group. They do chip and chase at times, but their biggest skill sets, their ability to possess the puck. And you talked about like that can be almost as tiring. Chip and chase is one thing, but forcing defenders to have to kind of chase you around the defensive zone and battle them is going to be more fatiguing. So what's the easiest way, do you feel, for the Oilers to kind of get back to how they played in game one tonight? What's 2 or 3 keys that you feel if they do, they'll have much more success?
Wow. I think that they had lots of chances in game one. I think certainly getting one on the power play would help. I think that you've seen the success they've had on the power play over the course of the last several years. Florida's done a good job with that. I don't really have all the answers, to be honest with you. I think that those players, Connor and Leon, you kind of let them do their thing and they're going to figure it out. Sometimes in playoff hockey, just getting pucks at the net for shots off of the goalie for rebound goals, or just pucks at the net where you're you're scoring a goal, not necessarily a pretty play. I'm not just talking on the power play, but 5-on-5 more than anything. Just getting pucks at the net, having bodies going to the net for just creating chaos, and sometimes the puck will go in off your pants or your shin pads or your arm. For tips, deflections, and rebounds, those type of goals where it's an ugly goal. Sometimes I think in playoff hockey that kind of play can happen a lot more where you create off of a broken play as opposed to some sort of set play, and you're opportunistic off of capitalize on that opportunity that's created from just putting the puck at the net and getting a rebound or creating off of the shot.
Duncan, one of your former partners, of course, was a young Evan Bouchard in 2022. And Evan raves to me about how just it was such a blessing for him to get to play with you, because it was like I had my own coach almost on the ice. Like you have a coach on the bench, but when you have a teammate who had as much experience as you, and he joked, like one of the things he first told me was just stay on your side, which sounds really simple, but, and then become more competitive. When you look at Evan Bouchard that you played with, and then you see what he is now, like, did you expect this growth this quickly for him? And maybe what's impressed you most about his improvements as a defender?
Well, I think that I see a lot of the same player, to be honest with you. I just think that he's now that he's playing on that top power play unit and moving around. When I played with him, I loved playing with Evan. Just the way he moved the puck and made plays, it was tape to tape, and I thought we really fed off of one another well. And I think that his role seems to have shifted a little bit now, being on the ice with McDavid and Draisaitl a little bit more. So naturally, you're gonna tend to play a little bit more 5-on-5 in the other team's zone, and you're gonna possess the puck and be able to follow it up and use your offensive instincts that he has in abundance. And when I was playing with him, I knew how quick and how hard of a shot he had, so I wanted to get him the puck as much as I could in the offensive zone. And but in terms of defensively, I always thought Evan was smart and he had a good stick. It was just kind of, I think, getting a little bit older and maybe a few years under your belt to kind of, I don't know what it would be, but just maybe a little more strength, but just that experience of handling the physicality and the pressure of going back for pucks and making plays, and just 2 more years of worth of experience in that regard, and defending in your own zone. I think that he's continued to improve upon.
Duncan Keith joins us on Sports 1440. Duncan, when you come into town, you've been through all the the Stanley Cup battles, right? You won 3 of them, and everyone's different, and I'm sure you've had different journeys through it. Does it all come flooding back now that you're here and you get in the building, and you're excited to see guys go through those battles that you went through so many times?
Yeah, it's funny. I was just thinking about on my way in from the airport here today, just about the situation being down 2-0. Every series you're dealing with different adversity and different feelings of the doom and gloom of being down 2-0 in a series. And at the end of the day, you always have to overcome different types of adversity through different series. And it's no different for Edmonton, this year. I remember what I was thinking about when I was driving in was just in 2015, we snuck out of Tampa Bay, winning that first game 1-0. I don't know what the score was, but we ended up being up 1-0, and we didn't deserve that game, but it was good that we won it. We lost the second game, but then we also lost the third game, I believe, and so we were down 2-1. I could be wrong on that, but that's
no, you're right. You're bang on.
Remembers. Yeah. So if the Oilers win tonight, they're in the same situation that we were in with Chicago back, just being down 2-1. So, momentum can change, real quickly. And I'm not just saying this in a way to be kind of positive, but it is what it is, and it's just, you just got to play it game by game. And if the Oilers, it's a big win, it's a big game tonight, and we need to get the win, no doubt. But if they get that win, it's right there, and they have a chance to tie it right back up. And so the game is right there, the series is still there. So lots to be played, lots of hockey to be played.
Can you explain how much the home crowd helps you in the playoffs? Like, you played in Chicago, it was a madhouse, super loud there, and Edmonton's the same way. Like, can you put it into words for fans, like how much that roar does make a difference? And somehow it's different than when you're on the road, even though they're loud, but they're obviously not loud for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a different energy when you're playing at home as opposed to on the road, and you can kind of play different mind games with yourself on the road. And there's some enjoyment you can take about being the villain, so to speak. But when you're at home, you feed off that crowd's energy and their passion. I think that, you remember what it was like there when Oilers were playing Dallas, and it looked kind of a little bit worrisome that we were hanging on for dear life there towards the series, towards the end of that last game there. But, the crowd chanting and those type of things, it's uplifting. Everybody's a human in there that feels that energy. And when your crowd gets you going and thinking in that positive way, you're not thinking, anything negatively or just worried about trying to hang on. You're going to do it, and you definitely feel that crowd's energy and their passion, especially here in Edmonton.
Doug, and how did you learn to kind of harness that energy and control your emotions at the highest, emotionally fueled time, which is the Stanley Cup playoffs, right? Like, and you were a guy, you played physical, and every now and then, even super skilled players, you can kind of go on tilt a little bit, right? And it's happened, but for the most part, it's seen from the outside, you were able to control that, and you were a feisty player. But how did you learn to walk that line? And was it always a challenge, even 10 years in?
Yeah, I'm glad you kind of corrected that and said sometimes you go off tilt or whatever, because I wasn't always in control of my emotions. But I don't know. I was fortunate to play with so many great players in my career and learn from them, whether it was Kane and Taves, Seabrook and Sharp, Marian Hossa, Crawford, Hjalmarsson, and then coming here to Edmonton, being able to play with Connor and Leon and Darnell and Zach Hyman, Cece, Mike Smith. So you're constantly learning from your teammates, and everybody's pushing each other to become better. And I just think at the end of the day that you're competitive, and you realize as time goes on, you're in different experiences over and over again, and you try to learn from those experiences and gain from it and take that wisdom and knowledge into different games as you go forward. And I always felt like part of our team in Chicago anyway, especially was trying to be good in those moments where the game is on the line. And, you know, we need that goal, or we need to keep that goal out, and you find a way to do it. And it wasn't just myself, it was with your team. And you know, we had some success, a lot of success here in Edmonton doing that too. And obviously they're in the Cup Finals now for a reason, because they've been able to do that at different points throughout the season. So you got to have faith that they can do it again tonight, and hopefully that'll happen.
And lastly, Duncan, of course, you're in player development with the Edmonton Oilers, and one of those guys who was developing this year was Philip Broberg, and was in the minors, played a ton of minutes, and he admitted that it really helped him just to enjoy the game again and regain his confidence. And he gets kind of thrown in at the hard to find much more of a pressure-packed time than Game 4 of the conference final. And since he's come in, man, he has played great. What do you like most about Broberg's game, and where do you kind of maybe see the ceiling for him moving forward?
Yeah, I think that one thing that the Oilers do, and Ken Holland especially, is they give their guys a lot of time to develop, and you saw them do it in Detroit, and a lot of teams would maybe rush them and get them in, and Broby's had a lot of time to kind of gain that confidence of playing pro hockey down in the American League. And so when you're ready to come up, he's ready to play. And I think that's been showing, and obviously in the playoffs here, him stepping into some very important games and critical time of the season here. So he's looked great. He's a big, strong D-man that's, he's got a hard shot. He's probably 6'3", 225, 230 pounds, and he can skate well. He thinks the game. I think he plays well within himself. He's probably learning a lot. It's great that he's got Ekholm there as an older Swede as well to learn from and talk to. So, like a lot of those Swedes, they're very smart positionally and try to play within themselves, even keel out there, and usually make a lot of good decisions with the puck out there. So for a defenseman, he's got all those attributes of being a real good player, and I think he showed it for a reason. He was a high pick, and he's got a great future ahead of him, that's for sure.
Duncan, always good to catch up with you, man. Enjoy the game, enjoy the atmosphere. It should be a madhouse in Edmonton tonight in a pivotal Game 3. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jason. Okay, we'll talk to you later.
You betcha. That is Duncan Keith, of course, in player development for the Edmonton Oilers. He's in town for the game, and you know what? You bump in a lot of those guys who played. They like to come back just to kind of feel that emotion and that experience again. Because if you've been to a Stanley Cup final, and obviously when you win, you have much better memories than the ones who haven't. But even, we had Fernando Pisani on last week, and we talked about just the whole experience was great up until Game 7, of course. And, the Oilers tonight is going to be a huge game. Broberg, I think, is another guy who I think he's played really well. And you know what? If he could find a way to contribute even more, great. But tonight for me, I think this is where the big stars need to shine. You're on the main stage. This is what they all dream about. This is what they want. Of course, you want contributions from your depth guys. That would be great. But man, I think it's if the Oilers are going to come back, they got to be led by their main guys. And seeing Connor McDavid yesterday, Leon Draisaitl today, I would be very surprised if those two don't make a significant impact in the game tonight. So we'll see how it goes. 2:44. We'll take a quick break. When we return, coming up, we got Terry Ryan after 3 o'clock. We're going to hear from a few members of the Edmonton Oilers tonight on the game plan. It's pretty straightforward. I can tell you that. I can outline it in a few words. We'll do that next in the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, coming to you live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street. Your place. Stop in, get a table while they still have them, and you can watch the game with about 400 of your fellow Oiler fans here at Jasper Ave and 118th Street.
Let's go, Oilers!
You know, we have to keep going, and we got 4 more wins to go here. So we'll enjoy this one tonight for sure, but get back to work.
This is Sports 1440.
The postseason is always exciting for hockey fans. For GS, it's all about construction season. For 50 years, GS Construction has been laying the groundwork for your community, but they can't do it without the best team possible. GS Construction is scouting for experienced and motivated laborers, pipe layers or pipe layers helpers, lead hands, operators, top men or women, and a water and sewer foreman. Apply today and start working for the 2024 construction season. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Heavy hauling in the worst of climates can be dreadful. Take the stress off the job with AccuSteel Heavy Haul Trailers. They redefine heavy hauling with premium heavy haul trailers designed, manufactured, and battle-tested in the harshest of conditions. And if your heavy haul trailer has issues, their full service and frame inspections will tell you exactly what's wrong and why. They take the guessing out of repair work with quality engineered frame repairs that get you back working quick. Discover the difference at AccuSteel.ca.
What's cracking at Cattail Crossing? The Mixed and Mingle League. Join Cattail Crossing Golf and Winter Club every Thursday as they pair up males and females for a fun and social round of golf. Only $33.30 all season long. Details at cattailcrossing.ca.
Take your bedroom to the next level this spring at the Brick. Our bedroom event deals are here to help you renovate on a budget. Save up to $1,200 off sofas and sectionals and get up to 40% off bedroom furniture and mattresses. Plus, buy more, save more, up to an additional $500 off major kitchen appliances. And get free delivery on purchases of $4.99 or more. Take advantage of these fabulous deals today. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Legacy Heating and Cooling Jingle auditions take one for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Are you ready, guys?
We were born ready.
Heck yes, Nuge. Drop the beat.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
We freaking killed it, Nuge.
That's what I'm talking about, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Nice guys. We're going to sell a lot of air conditioners.
Hey, doesn't Legacy offer no payments and no interest for a year on those?
Yeah, well, thanks for the assist on the copy points there, Nuge.
It's just what I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
In 1973, deep in the basement of an Edmonton family home, an elite team of specialized forces came together to form Action Electrical.
Action Electrical Divisions, assemble.
Projects team reporting.
Service team reporting.
Testing team reporting.
Energy team reporting.
Supercharged with skills in their electrical fields and grounded by strong family values. Facing an electrical menace? Call on the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
Try the new extra-large New York-style crispy pepperoni pizza only from Papa John's. Get you some of that crispy, curly, cuppy pepperoni on top of an extra-large New York-style crust pizza with creamy tomato sauce and a 3-cheese blend. This ain't around forever, so walk fast like you're in NYC and order one now. The extra-large New York-style crispy pepperoni pizza for just $22.99, only at Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, better get you some.
It's okay to not be okay. Mental health affects us all. Encourage loved ones to seek help. Remember, asking for help isn't a weakness, it's a strength. It's time to talk, connect, and care, because everyone deserves a healthy mind. Visit cmha.ca today.
I've been trying to fall. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you can show me how to love. Just a touch, baby. City's cold and empty.
Welcome back. Game day on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, and Facebook. How you doing? Oilers, Panthers, Game 3 tonight. And you can watch it right here, Jasper Ave and 118th Street at On the Rocks. Hey, man, they got even more TVs for you. A few big screens that I see they're already down and ready to go. So get in. I recommend getting here as quick as you can after work to get yourself a great seat. And, hey, great deals, $4.50 beers and cheap wings. So get it at Jasper Ave and 118th Street. Lineup changes for Florida, none. Barkov, no surprise, he's going to play. Like, come on, was it ever even in doubt? I don't think it was ever even in doubt. We don't know the Oilers lineup for sure. One of the few times Chris Knobloch, I think when asked, he says, yeah, you'll have to wait till tonight. It's a Stanley Cup Finals, Game 3. Will Darnell Nurse play? Based on what we heard yesterday from Knobloch, he was pretty confident he would. Wouldn't guarantee it, though. Now, Cody Ceci took the optional today, but wasn't out there very long. Whereas Sam Carrick, he was out there a long time. Usually means you're not playing. Right? Sam Gagne, the other guys who aren't playing, they were out there a long time. So, is there a chance that maybe Nurse doesn't play and Ceci's in, or maybe they're going to go with 7 defensemen? Right? Because Vinny Desharnais and Broberg, they were all out and they were all off fairly early. So, we'll have to see. Up front, yesterday, Knobloch was pretty clear in saying that he expects Corey Perry to play. So if they go 11-7, then I guess maybe it's Carrick out and they bring in Ceci. It's possible. There is, and Perry's coming in for Kane maybe, or another player. That's the other one we don't know. Now, Fogle didn't take the morning skate, which usually is a sign that you're playing, right? If you're not banged up and you don't take the morning skate, I'm trying to think at any time in the playoffs, you're either hurt or if you don't take the morning skate, then you're playing. That's usually how it works. So, McLeod was out there. Again, he wasn't out there very long. So, we'll see. Like maybe Nurse isn't ready. I can't say for certain. My gut tells me he's going to play, but again, not 100%. So we shall see. We'll get to the oil report brought to you by Volvo Cars Edmonton. They are Canada's #1 Volvo dealership. 13 years. This is an Excellence Award winner in sales and service. You want a great deal, 0% financing right now for a lease of an XC60 at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com. And Vincent Desharnais just talked about, the importance early on and use the crowd to your advantage. Edmonton needs a good start.
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge, especially with the crowd behind us. I think if we get them engaged right away, it's going to be huge for us. It's going to give us that little boost of energy. And like the guy said, just simplify it. Just play our game. Just do the small details well. Check well. Good sticks. Hard along the walls. Just a small little things. And I think that if we do that early, I think the game is going to go well for us.
Overall, how do you think the group has played? 5-on-5. They haven't scored a lot, but they haven't really given up much. Even through 40 minutes, it was a 1-1 game. How do you feel your defensive game's gone 5-on-5?
Yeah, I think it's been good. I can definitely be better in terms of small little, again, I'll say it again, small little details defensively that we'll give up goals on, and that's a positive thing, is that it's all fixable. It's all things that we know we can prevent, but we got to do it. We got to execute. We got to be a little bit sharper defensively, and I think the skin's been great for us, and we just gotta. I don't think we can win a game with one goal. I think we gotta help them out a little bit. But yeah, I think the start of the game is going to be huge tonight.
How do you feel you can help as a group defensively to increase the offense in 5-on-5?
Try to move the puck fast if we can in the neutral zone, not hold it as much. Same thing in the D zone, quick breakouts. Try to move it quick. Try to use our partners well and stay close to each other. Communicate. It's all little things that if they all add up, it can make a pretty big difference.
You guys have played against 1-3-1s and beat them. How different is the 1-1-3 that they like to play?
Honestly, if we quick up, if we play fast throughout the the neutral zone, I think we'll be just fine. I don't think it's as they're playing the same type of 1-1-3 as let's say LA, where they're very a lot more aggressive. I feel, or maybe not aggressive, a lot more patient, which makes the game a little bit more boring. I think those guys are pretty in your face type of hockey. But if we move the puck well, we use our speed. That's our strength in here. We have a lot of speed. We just got to use it more and make their D-men turn. So yeah, like I've mentioned, the start of the game is going to be huge for us.
What's is it on the depth guys in this team to contribute a little bit of offense? We talk about McDavid, but I saw the rest of the team. What do you guys need to do?
Yeah, I think I don't even think it's a matter of scoring goals. I think it's a matter of getting momentum. I think it's usually in playoffs when your third and fourth line can generate some momentum, and I feel that's something that we can definitely be a little bit better at, a little bit more aggressive with our third and fourth line to try to generate some offense and just build something for our next line.
Yeah, it's about momentum too, right? You need that. Obviously, it would be nice to get some depth scoring without question, right? Like you think about that Dallas game and the huge goal shorthanded you had from Janmark, right? That was a massive goal. So, now Edmonton had 11 guys. That's, a lot of people say, oh, they have no depth. They had 11 players score a goal in 6 games against the Dallas Stars. What are people talking about? It's 2 games. Okay? Yeah, it's not ideal. But you can't just jump off the ledge and act as though there's been nothing accomplished to this point because they lost 2 games. What if they win 2 games here in the next, 52 hours? Now they're suddenly going to win the cup? Like, I understand the need to want to just go crazy over things, but I'm not buying the Oilers. It's 2 games. Guess what? Their top guys haven't scored either. Right? Do I think that means they're never going to score again? No. I fully expect them to get some pucks by, but I'll say this. Florida's, hey, give Bobrovsky credit. Since he's only been, one of the last 13 games, he's allowed more than 2 goals. It ain't easy. They defend well. But Edmonton's bread and butter has always been their offense. That's their strength. So they had a lot of chances in game 1. It's not like Florida just stuffed them and Edmonton was getting nothing. They just couldn't finish. And a lot of that was their best guys who couldn't finish. So the hometown crowd, I fully expect Edmonton to come out energized tonight. I think they're gonna score more than 1 goal. There's the bold take of the day, which isn't that bold. I actually think they'll score more than 2 goals tonight, which has only happened once against Florida in 13 games. So maybe that is a little bit of against the norm. But it's not. I'm not ready yet to just erase the first 3 rounds, their last 70 regular season games, because of 2 games in the Stanley Cup Final. It means that suddenly they're terrible. They're not terrible. Florida's a good team, but so is Edmonton. And they probably should have had a better outcome in game 1. They got themselves to blame because part of it has to do with finishing, and they didn't do it. And then even in game 2, they only had 7 shots in the first 40 minutes, and it was 1-1. It wasn't like they're getting killed out of the ring, and they didn't really give up much. So I think tonight, power play, you got to produce. And, 5-on-5, they need to get Florida on their heels a little bit. They are a faster team. All the data from NHL, right? Like this is not my opinion. There's all database that backs it up. They have all the numbers about how much quicker Edmonton is as a forward group. Not so much on the blue line. Blue lines are pretty even. But the forward group, they're a faster forward group. So use that speed tonight. They have to have it. Have to. So let's get to Connor Halley and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Booster Juice. We're stopping right now, and they have the brand new Booster mixers. Great summer sippers. Download the Boosters Reward app from Booster Juice and order one today only at Booster Juice. Here's Connor Halley.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day, the Oilers in action once again, hosting the Florida Panthers down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 6 o'clock for the Panthers, leading the series 2-0 off the ice. The New York Rangers signed forward Kaapo Kakko to a 1-year, $2.4 million deal. Kakko, just 23, recorded 13 goals and 19 points in 61 games with the Blue Shirts last season. In the majors tonight, you'll have the Dodgers taking on the Rangers and the White Sox in Seattle. Angels up against the Diamondbacks. Twins host the Athletics. Phillies travel to Boston, and the Mets taking on the Marlins. Later today, Cubs also taking on the Rays. Finals, Braves knocked off the Orioles 6-3. The Tigers over the Nats 7-2. Yankees fall to the Royals 4-3, and the Pirates losing to the Cards by that same score. In the WNBA tonight, you got the Commissioner's Cup, Dream, Fever, Wings, Storm, and the Aces in Phoenix taking on the Mercury. At the U.S. Open, after one round, Patrick Cantley atop the leaderboard, 5 under par. Ludwig Aberg sitting at 4 under. You've also got Matthew Pavon and Bryson DeChambeau sitting at 3 under. Rory McIlroy right there as well. Canadians in the field. You got Corey Connors currently sitting 1 under. Taylor Pendrith is even. Adam Svensson and Nick Taylor currently 2 and 3 over par. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by our co-host, former NHLer and Shorzy star Terry Ryan, and we'll get the Florida Panthers perspective with beat reporter Alex Baumgartner. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Hi, Jason Gregor for Volvo of Edmonton. This summer, lease a new 2024 Volvo XC60 with 0% finance, or save up to $6,500 on select models for qualifying loyal customers. Plus a free 10-year, 1 million kilometer warranty with all demo vehicles. And if you're thinking hybrid, save $6,000 off all 2024 new and demo XC60 Recharge plug-in models. Discover why we're Canada's only 13-time Volvo Excellence Award winner. 1205 101st Street Southwest, or visit volvocarsedmonton.com.
Experience more at the Edmonton Expo Center. Come for Canada's largest trade show, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience. But it doesn't end there. Maximize your brand exposure with Edmonton Expo Center's new cutting-edge feature screens, spanning Western Canada's largest venue space. Captivate an annual audience of over 1 million visitors during iconic events like Pro Rodeo, Disney on Ice, Glow, K-Days, and so much more. To learn more, call 780-660-0514 or visit edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Hey, Leduc, can leading edge physiotherapy help you? Well, this is a question I face every day. Let me answer the best I can. Do you have a pain or injury to your toe, foot, ankle, knee, hip, lower back, middle back, neck, shoulder, elbow, wrist, hand, or finger? Are you dealing with a sprain, strain, fracture, tendonitis, bursitis, arthritis, dizziness, balance issues, surgery, whiplash, or headache? Okay, I can't list all the problems that we can help in leading edge physio in under 30 seconds, and I can't promise we fix everyone. But I can promise that we'll combine our experience, skills, technology, and hands-on care to give you an edge. Life shouldn't hurt. Find us at leadingedgephysio.com.
The Toronto Blue Jays are on Sports 1440. Every weekend, catch all the action with play-by-play announcer Ben Schulman. The Blue Jays, this Saturday and Sunday on Sports 1440. Edmonton's home for all things sports.
Hey, Kevin, what are you doing in here?
Well, last month you were giving shit away, so I just thought I would see if you were still giving shit away in June.
Stop swearing. And yes, we are still giving shit away in June at St. Albert Dodge. Take our 2024 Durango. Was $64,500 and now just $52,900. Need a new Ram 1500 4x4 crew cab? We've got it. Originally $63,700, now just $44,900.
See, you're still giving shit away.
Kevin, stop swearing. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for
Tremendous.
Sailors Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
Skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at ewell.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Get ready, Oilers fans. During the finals, make a deposit with promo code Gregor50 to snag a $50 free sports bet with your next deposit. Get ready for unbeatable promotions throughout the finals with 10+ odds boosts on every Oilers playoff game. Score a chance to win amazing prizes like season seats for the 2024-25 season, or 5 pairs of seats to 5 separate Oilers games for the 2024-25 season, just by making a bet on an Oilers playoff game at playalberta.ca. Join the excitement and cheer on the Oilers. Let's bring it home. Bonus terms and conditions apply.
It's City Ford's Father's Day event. Join us this Saturday for a barbecue, indoor golf, games, and gifts for your dad.
During this Father's Day event, get massive discounts up to $22,000 on brand new F-150s, up to $8,000 on Edges and Broncos, up to $4,700 on brand new Escapes. Plus, 0% financing options are available. Just pick what's best for you.
Get a 2024 Bronco Sport for $209 bi-weekly, or a 2023 F-150 Super Crew for only $297 bi-weekly.
We have 17 previously owned SUVs, all under $500 a month, like a 2020 all-wheel drive Escape, only $187 bi-weekly. Plus, we have trucks galore. Get a 2021 F-150 Super Crew for only $258 bi-weekly.
Exclusive to City Ford. With every purchase, spin and win a barbecue, pressure washer, TV, pizza oven, or a trip to Vegas.
Join us this Saturday for a Father's Day barbecue, indoor golf, cornhole toss, giant pong game, ice cream sundaes, fun for the entire family, and a gift for your dad. But it's only at City Ford on the St. Albert Trail.
Move Water is your one-stop shop for all things water. From freshwater to wastewater, we've got the pumps and solutions to keep your water moving where it matters most.
Move Water, your water solution experts.
Visit movewater.ca today.
Ask the girl what she wanted to be. She said, baby, can't you see? I want to be famous, a star of the screen, but you could do something in between. Maybe you can drive my car. Yes, I'm gonna be a star. Maybe you can drive my car, and maybe I love you.
Just after 3 o'clock, how are you? It is game day on the Jason Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, live on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, and Facebook. You're watching on Twitter or Instagram, streaming on the app or Sports1440.ca. We very much appreciate it. However you listen and watch the show, love it. Thank you very much. It's always presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Get in the game. Hey, are you feeling confident? As I've told you off the top of the show, home team in the salary cap era in game 3, 14-4. Teams who are down 2 games to nothing are 10-2. Game 3 on home ice. They're desperate. The crowd is fired up, and you know what? You get to the Stanley Cup final, you're a good team. Despite what some people are texting in right now today, the Oilers are actually still a good team. They are down 2-0. They haven't been good enough through 2 games, but they are capable of winning tonight. We'll see it if they do it. Hello, live on location. Always nice to be back out in the town. We're at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street, where you can stop in, say hello, and get yourself a great seat. And also during the game, of course, and leading up to it, great food specials on wings and beers as well. Here, Jasper Ave on 118th, and I see they got extra tables set up. It's going to be a loud crowd in here tonight. Utah, this just comes down. They've decided it's going to be the Utah Hockey Club for this season. They released their colors, which black with a little blue and white, and nothing new, surprising, but they're going to have just like the Utah across the front, and then in the big middle, and then it looks like hockey in the top, club on the bottom. So it will be the Utah Hockey Club for year 1. This is all marketing, let's be honest. They're going to have a name the team contest. They're going to announce that official name somewhere in December or January. So people will buy some jerseys this year. I actually kind of like that jersey. And then you watch. They will have their new name. They get the logo. Then they'll sell some more. So not bad. I don't know if TR is a big. I've seen a few jerseys, obviously some of his own, but I don't know if he's a jersey collector or not. Our Tuesday, Thursday co-host here on Sports 1440, former NHLer, of course, star of Shoresy. Episode 5, Season 3 comes out tomorrow. TR, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing out there? We're pretty excited, I'm assuming, for this big tilt tonight. I know I am.
Oh God, yeah. No, I saw a lot of jerseys here today when I was driving from the rink to here. A few more than I think I've seen in other games. And you know what? Even right now here at On the Rocks, I would say probably 60% of the people that are in here already are wearing jerseys. So yeah, everybody's they're fired up as they should be. It's a huge game, Terry. You know, the Oilers is as close to a must-win game as you can get. I don't think you can go down 3-0 in the Cup final and expect to win. The message I heard from a lot of players, coach, everything. You know what? They got to play fast. They got to win battles, whether it's on the boards, you know, make good passing, just kind of do the small details, the simple things. It's not like they're going to come out with some new game plan or new approach and like that's not what got you here, right? You got to go with what got you to the dance, and it's just about executing it as well as you possibly can.
Yeah, exactly. Do with what got you there. And remember that first game, it's executing. Both games, but the first game, really, it could have been 3 or 4-0 at some points. So really just that worked other than the execution. Now, the other thing is definitely I would come at Florida. I wouldn't let them push me around. I wouldn't want that to happen. But I'd find out a way to really use my speed whenever possible. Because the Oilers are real fast. If you got any advantages, try to bring them out. And I know it's the playoffs, and someone like me should be saying, bang and crash. And I do agree with that. But there's ways, there's chips, there's just get open, figure out a way, because they can really, really beat Florida in that category. I believe that. And it's hard with the the NHL playoffs, the Stanley Cup Finals. It's designed to be hard. It's hard to get open. It's hard to create speed with unlike every other sport. You've got hard boundaries there. You're going real fast. You're on skates. There's not a whole lot of room, but you got to find it if you're the Oilers, because I really think they can come out on top in that category.
Well, you look at it, Connor McDavid currently has the second most points in a playoff year following a loss. He has 17 so far in 2024. Doug Gilmour holds the record. He had 20 points following a loss for the Maple Leafs in 1993. And McDavid obviously has shown up in other games. And you know what? I would expect that. I've had people tell me, Gregor, can't just be the star guys. I'm not saying it has to just be the stars, Terry. Of course, you want your depth guys to contribute. And really, they have. The Oilers had 11 guys score a goal in round 3 against Dallas. They had 10 score a goal against Vancouver. They had 10 score a goal against LA. They've had guys show up. Now, there's guys like Hyman, and their big guys score more. That's expected. And I kind of call it the Fab Five of the Oilers. They're 5 power play guys. They play a lot together, 5-on-5. They got to get going here. Like one goal from Matthias Ekholm. Like the Oilers do not have an offensive zone assist, because both those assists came is Ekholm moved up the ice and carried the puck basically from his blue line. Right. So They haven't made many plays in the offensive zone. Well, they've made none that have led to a goal. So they got to get that going.
I find it really comes out in the playoffs. There's like a difference between what would be the word panic and comfortable execution. And it's such a fine line, but those guys know. And if they weren't getting any chances, like happens, I hate to keep referring to the Leafs, but it often does happen, and people are getting, rumored about and talked about, because a lot of fans think that, maybe they're inconsistent. But when I see the Oilers, I don't see that inconsistency, even though they haven't scored in a couple games to any degree. All those guys you mentioned, they're getting chances. The law of averages said it, but you can't start squeezing your stick. You can't get panicked. I'm sure they won't, because what they've been doing other than putting it in is working. So you just, you got to bear down when you get those chances. And I fully believe that the players that we're talking about will do so. They've given me no reason on their resumes so far, wherever they've been, to think otherwise. And I'm not just talking about Draisaitl and Connor McDavid. You mentioned the 5 power play guys first and foremost. Those guys more than anything. But it's nice that Rodriguez is really chipping in, and people are saying, where's the Oilers guys like that? Look, it's 2 games gone by in the finals here. That happens. It's 120 minutes. It's a long series for a reason, and the winner isn't declared until 4 games won or 7 games played. And that's hockey, and that's the way it is. And we know all these things. If the same 2 games repeat themselves, I will be as astonished as anybody else. I think it's a good time to have hockey fever in Oil Town.
So the lineup is in question at this point. According to what the Knobloch said yesterday, he thinks Nurse is going to play, and he thought Corey Perry would come in. So, if Nurse plays, there's some maybe because Cody Ceci was off early from the morning skate, which is usually, Terry, a sign that you're playing. So the Oilers might go 11-7. Sam Carrick, I know, was not on. He was out way late, so he's probably coming out. And maybe Evander Kane, we don't know. He hasn't skated on a morning skate all playoffs, so it doesn't surprise me. And yesterday he was on the ice briefly, then left. Like, if you're the Oilers, would you take Kane? Like, if Kane can't go and you're going to go 7 defensemen, like, I guess you bring in, it becomes kind of Corey Perry comes in and Ceci comes in for Carrick and Kane is essentially what the trade-off would be for Edmonton. But, like, I don't know, like, Florida's a pretty physical team. Now, maybe it doesn't matter, but do you have any concerns? Like, Carrick's a pretty gritty guy. I thought he won a lot of battles. He's actually 66% in the face-off circle here in this series. He's the only Oiler above 50%. No, that's not true. Nuge has won 4 of 7, so he's 53. But, like, what do you make of it if indeed that would be the situation? And if you go 11-7, does that mean Nurse, like, would you even do it? Because you either Nurse is good enough to play or he's not. Where would you come out on 11-7?
Yeah, I know. Nurse got to know this by now. The other night, I found it really odd, the way he went about the limited time that he played. He came back for, like, an important shift late in the game. I think it was, like, with 10 minutes left in the third. Like, I haven't seen him for a while. Then he comes back for that. It's a curious time to put him in if you couldn't put him in before or after. But so I don't know. I know everybody wants to play, but someone's got to just sit him down and say, look, can you help us here? Because if not, what are you talking about here? And what are we saying? If you can get a dozen minutes out of Nurse or Kane, which one would you rather? I guess for me, you talked about Carrick. I know there's a level of toughness there, and Florida are going to come, right? They're going to. One thing that'll be consistent is that they'll come hard. But I'm thinking Perry too. I know he made some mistakes earlier, but I'm probably dying to get in there, and a guy with all that experience and can definitely match the intensity. You don't want it to be stupid. You don't want to take a stupid penalty, but I don't know. I think I'd take a chance on that.
Okay, so you like Perry, I think's come back in. Like, his last appearance basically in this series was when he took that penalty in game 1. So as a veteran guy, he's probably looking to recover and be better. So like 11-7's never a horrible thing for Edmonton, and maybe it. To me, I think it'd be a combination. You're doing it because you're protecting yourself on your back end. You don't want to go 5 defensemen again and potentially have Evan Bouchard playing 33 or 4 minutes, right? Like, what if the game gets to overtime, for goodness sakes? You're going to go 5 defensemen, right? That's difficult. So I guess I can understand that. You could make the argument then just sit Nurse for a night and play 6 defensemen and have Broberg, Kulak, right, as your lefties and Ceci and Desharnais as your righties. That's another option. So, there's lots of balls up in the air. Whoever plays for the Oilers, they got to be ready, Terry, to me. And then what do you think Knobloch's going to do? He said it before, you try to use the home ice to your advantage here and there. How hard would you, try to get McDavid a few shifts away from more Ekblad and Forsling than Barkov?
Well, when you mentioned the 11-7, I'd be real comfortable if I was Edmonton making that decision.
Okay.
Because I really do think those forwards that we spoke about are going to explode. And I think at this time, whatever. Like, what else do you have to save it for? Even Bouchard, I know we've talked about it, but I don't really mind his 30 minutes. I don't at this point. You could make an argument there that, you got to read the player. I don't know. I'd rather a half-tired Bouchard than a lot of other players at full energy. So I know that's taking a risk, but that doesn't worry me too much. Their best players playing a little bit too much. And if I'm Knobloch, I'm. What do you mean as far as strategy?
Yeah, like how often would you try to use that home ice advantage to you when because they haven't really done it all playoffs is what I'm saying, right?
I would use it often
to do it.
Yeah. I would. I forgot the question. Sorry. Yeah, I would definitely use it often, especially. I mean, Edmonton home crowd is not like every other crowd, and I know Florida people were cheering, and it's always the Stanley Cup playoffs. Every building's going to be vibing, but we really have a 6-man with the Oilers, and I would use that to my advantage. Throw McDavid on there. You got the last change. multiple times. I would really wear that out. Honestly, it's that time of year, and I think Connor McDavid could be close to exhausted. I don't think he's going to let himself go out there and be made a fool of. I think he's just going to go and give it absolutely everything that he has. I've got no reason not to think that. So if I play him a few extra shifts, so be it. It's the best player in the world. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan with you on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, and Facebook. Coming up, we are going to hear Paul Maurice had a great answer. We're going to get to one of his answers later on. Also, Aaron Ekblad on trying to defend McDavid. We'll get to that. Alex Baumgartner will join us, give us the Florida side of things. The players in Florida said, hey, man, there's way too much being made about this travel thing, which we agreed yesterday. Like, come on, you're flying first class. They actually didn't even get to the it wasn't like they were stuck on the tarmac the entire delay because they knew they were delayed, so they actually stayed at the rink. And, guys were there. Their chef made him an extra meal, and he was kind of joking. Paul Maurice said, well, the only negative was the coaches gained about 7 pounds because we had like 6 meals. But, Aaron Ekblad said, hey, man, I got 9 hours sleep last night. I got into the hotel room. I'm fine. So I don't think – now, it is their first game outside of the Eastern time zone since March. But Paul Maurice said, you know what? I think it's more of an issue when it's cumulative and you're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. One trip – it's 2 hours. And I would agree. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think travel or fatigue, if the Oilers win tonight, that's the reason why. I don't think it has anything to do with it. But we'll talk to Alex Baumgartner about it next in the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. You can always get involved, 833-401-1440 in our inbox. Your partner in power for all your electrical needs, ewel.ca.
Your Edmonton Riverhawks are calling all Swifties for Girls Rock Night this Friday, featuring friendship bracelet making, a dance party after the game, and theme jerseys up for auction.
Get your tickets today to watch the Hawks play at gohawks.ca.
As a business owner, you know that good business is based on good relationships. So imagine, how would you feel if your commercial insurance was driven by people, not products? At High Street Insurance, we've been serving Canadian businesses like yours for 10 years. People, taking care of people. We take the time to learn about your business so we can ensure that your insurance coverage is finely tuned to the nuances of your commercial situation. Good protection starts with understanding you. Reach out to us today at highstreetinsurance.com.
0% for 60 months. I'm not kidding. Where? Wolf GMC Buick. And it's GMC's Adventure Calls event. Pick out a new 2024 Sierra with finance rates as low as 0% for up to 60 months. If you're a Costco member, you get another $1,200 off purchase price on any 2024 in-stock Sierra. We're talking half tons, 3/4 tons, even 1 tons. If you'd rather an SUV, we've got low lease payments and an awesome selection on GMC terrain. So get in today and get your adventure on. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
From bench to bench, sport to sport, Elite Promotional Marketing will help take your teamwear to the next level with a wide selection of uniforms, apparel, and promotional products. So when you want your team to look elite, head to ElitePromoMarketing.com.
What's cracking at Cattail? Maybe you've got the next tiger on your hands. Cattail Crossing offers young golfers Operation 36, a program to improve their growing skill set with other golfers their age. To register, email proshop@cattailcrossing.ca.
I take possession of my commercial space in 3 months. I need lighting. I need a fire alarm. I need data. I need a generator. I need panels.
Sounds like a job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Projects team reporting. We design, build, and construct all the electrical systems for your projects. Need everything to work right? Get the Action Electrical project team on your site.
Facing an electrical menace? Call the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
Friday, your Edmonton Elks host the Grey Cup champ Montreal Alouettes for 90s Night, presented by Edmonton International Airport. Wear your best 90s outfit for your chance to win a trip to see last year's Grey Cup halftime performers Green Day in Montreal at Osheaga. Tickets and more at goelks.com.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at cantork.com.
Mr. Ruther does a TED Talk. Thank you for coming today. Let's talk about it. Pressure. Everyone in this room feels pressure. But let me tell you something about pressure. I'd rather feel too much pressure than not enough. You know why? because low pressure often means you have corroded pipes, impaired water lines, or a calcified shower head. And who needs that? I'm Mr. Ruda, and this has been my TED Talk.
For an inspirational plumber, call Mr. Rooter.
I see your dirty face behind your collar. What is done in vain? Truth is hard to swallow, so you pray to God. Justify the way you live a life. Live a life.
Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Good God, I'm sorry. I meant to get back to you, Danielle.
Good deals on beer, etc. So stop in Jasper Ave and 118th Street. Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan, Connor Halley with you as we go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And it is here, but only for a limited time. Stop in and you can get the strawberry cheesecake McFlurry. It is real strawberries mixed in the sauce with, and it's all combined together with some delicious pieces of cheesecake. Stop in now, but only for a month for a McFlurry.
You're listening to
cheesecake at McDonald's. As Alex Baumgartner joins us, beat reporter for the Florida Panthers. And Alex, of course, I guess let's first of all talk about the more serious thing involving Florida. How serious, how much damage has the flooding done in Florida?
Yeah, like the night before. So I flew up yesterday. I took off at 6:50 Eastern time, about 25 minutes before they grounded all the flights. So I'm the only Panthers beat writer that doesn't work for the Panthers that actually made it here. So I'm kind of the Florida pool reporter this week. But I thought it was worse the day before, but I heard it's still pretty bad. There's still a lot of flooding. I think Fort Lauderdale, where the Panthers took off from, got the worst of it. So that's why they were held back for a couple extra hours.
Okay, well, we hope everybody and family and friends is doing all right. Now the Panthers, hey, they're doing all right. They're up 2-0 in the series. They've limited Edmonton to only one goal. They've got, Mr. Rodrigue, of course, as being their go-to guy, but they got 2 points from, Barkov and Bennett and Lundell. So they're getting contributions really up and down their lineup thus far. I think Tkachuk's the only top 9 forward who doesn't have a point through 2 games. So they're getting lots of people producing. Edmonton, everybody's expecting the push tonight. Edmonton in game 1, I thought they played their game a lot better. They were quicker. Game 2, Florida, and really from the kind of the third period on, Florida has controlled it. What are you expecting tonight from the Panthers? And do you see any similarities for this game 3 compared to what you saw the only time that Bobrovsky allowed more than 2 goals here in the last 13 games was game 3 against the Rangers?
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers have been a very good third period team. If they keep games close, even if they're down 1 going to the third, that's kind of when they play their best hockey. I was there in New York for game 5 where they were trailing. They kept it close, came back in the third, won it. Game 6 where they clinched it against the Rangers, same thing against the Bruins in game 6. They like those tight, close hockey games. As you mentioned, 2 or less goals for Bobrovsky pretty much the entirety of the playoffs. And they've been playing that specific brand of hockey going back into the regular season. So the Panthers are used to teams kind of coming out a little desperate with the leads that they've had in this playoff. I'm expecting Edmonton to show more desperation than the Panthers have seen yet. And the Panthers just have to try and suppress that storm and get it into the later stages of the game, either tied or a close one.
Paul Maurice had an interesting answer today when talked about, hey, when you're on the road, you don't get the change you want. So he said, hey, Barkov, when we're at home, we get the matchup we want. We can go against the best lines, and we can kind of see the Selke side of him On the road, we don't worry about it as much, but we get to see more of an offensive side of Barkov. Has that matched with what you've seen? Do you get more offense out of Barkov on the road?
Well, I think he was just saying that because he can't get that matchup he necessarily wants. But I will say this specific playoff is the most, I don't know if selfish is the right word, but it's the most I've seen Alexander Barkov try and control games himself. Earlier on in his career in Florida, people were always saying, Barkov a little too passive, maybe not as aggressive. Now he's throwing the body. Now he's actually driving the offense. He's shooting it more. And he's a point per game. You have a 2-time Selke winner that has a point per game in 19 games this playoff. I mean, Barkov is playing the best hockey I've ever seen him play. So when Maurice says, maybe he gets more of the offensive side, it's because they can't get those matchups that they want. They can't get the Barkov line that has Sam Reinhart, who also finished top 5 in Selke voting, out there against McDavid every time they want. But that also means McDavid might be on the bench when they throw that first line out, and Evan Rodriguez gets bumped up to that line, and all of a sudden you have your 3 best players not against McDavid defending, but maybe they can push a little more offensively.
Alex, the Panthers we talked about, they've been great when under pressure late. They've been shut down, but they also don't have nearly the amount of grade A shots so far that the Oilers have. Do you think they have any plan to battle that and maybe getting close a little bit more?
I don't necessarily think so. Florida is a defensive first team. That's kind of the message that's come out of that room going into training camp. Game 1 for the Oilers is probably one of the more dominant performances I've seen another team have against the Panthers. The Panthers were averaging under 25 shots allowed per game throughout the postseason. That's against guys like Panarin, Pasternak, the Kucherov, Stamkos of the world. But even Paul Maurice has said Connor McDavid's a little bit of a different player, and the Oilers, I mean, they probably should have won that game one the way they played, and Florida probably got away with that one because of a Bobrovsky performance. So I don't think they're necessarily going to change their offensive approach. They like playing defense first and then, grinding you out in the corners, catching you in transition. I don't think they're necessarily going to change too much offensively from their game.
Vladimir Taresenko has had a long, illustrious career, capped with a Stanley Cup. Here in Canada, where everything's overanalyzed, I haven't heard a lot of people talking about him, but what do you think he means to that team?
So when he came in, a big conversation was, is it going to disrupt the flow of the dressing room? And it has done anything but that. He came in, he instantly bought in. I'll say Kyle posted the same thing, where they come in and they play more of a physical game than they were probably playing in Buffalo and in Ottawa. Taresenko has impressed me a lot defensively, and Maurice threw him with 2 of the younger Finns in Luosterainen and Lundell, and he's pretty much stuck with that line. And I mean, Lundell and Luosterainen will tell you how much a veteran guy like Taresenko means, just the chatter on the bench. So while he's not lighting up the scoreboard, I mean, when that guy blocks a shot or back checks or throws a big hit, I mean, he's getting the boys going.
Well, yeah, strong guys won a Stanley Cup with St. Louis a few years ago. So I think that, that experience is something you can never overlook in the series. The defense pairing, as much as Barkov might not be out there, and they say they don't get the matchup, what about the Forsling and Ekblad? Because as much of it's Barkov, I think, you can't overlook Forsling and Ekblad. I think they played a ton again. They actually played more minutes against McDavid than Barkov did. What do they do on the road here? What do you expect? What did you see in the other series as far as their defense pairings go? Do they try a little harder to at least try to get their D pair out against the other team's top line?
Yeah, you'll definitely. They'll definitely try and get Forsling and Ekblad out there more, I think, than they would even want to get Barkov out there. I was kind of surprised game 1, they were throwing the Bennett line out there with the home change against the McDavid line, which kind of surprised me. But then when you look at the back end, no Forsling and Ekblad's there. And I mean, Gustav Forsling's the best defender on that team. And while Aaron Ekblad isn't necessarily the player he was a couple seasons ago, I mean, he's the perfect paired defenseman to go with Forsling. So I think that's the matchup they want. Gustav Forsling's the fastest skater on the Panthers. He's the only guy that could probably even try and catch McDavid when McDavid's going at full speed. So I think that is the priority, even more than getting Barkov out there.
Yeah, and I kind of think so. So, I don't know if they shortchange guys or whatever, but that Edmonton, I think, obviously, if you're Chris Knobloch, you're going to try to get the McDavid line out there a few shifts against either the Montour Mikkola line or pairing, I should say, or the Ekman Larson Kulikov one. And that's where the, a little bit of gamesmanship comes in here, I think, tonight for the Oilers. And you're not going to do it every shift. I still think at the end of the night, McDavid's probably going to see Forsling the most. And that's because you don't chase away or go away from the matchup. You just want to go in your rotation. But, 3-4 shifts, that could be the difference for a guy like McDavid. All he needs is one shift sometimes to make a great play. And I'm curious to kind of, we see that cat and mouse game as far as them trying to go up against those D pairs. Is there one that you've seen, like, is it clearly Kulikov and Ekman Larson that are easier to attack on? Or is the Montour Mikkola one kind of similar? How would you view it?
They've all been good, but I think just the foot speed that Kulikov and Ekman Larson have compared to, Brandon Montour. I said Forsling's the fastest guy on the team. With the puck, Montour might be the craftiest defenseman. And for a guy that's like 6'6" on skates, Nico Mikkola can move. So if I was Knobloch, I'd try and get him out against the Kulikov line just because in transition, those are probably the two defensemen that McDavid's going to catch the easiest.
TR?
Yeah, I want to know about the crowds down there, Alex. So I've read some, you can't believe what you read on Twitter for the most part. But I'm hearing, no, they're not even sold out. But then, my buddies are saying they're at the games and it's a huge buzz and the place is going crazy. It's Stanley Cup fever. Edmonton, of course, is the other end of the spectrum. But what can you tell me from some bird's eye view, how is the buzz around the games down in Florida?
I will say I've been at every single home game they've played this playoff. Every single one has been sold out. I can confirm the Cup final. I did see the videos, and I do think I know which tweet you're talking about. The thing with Florida is, I don't know in Edmonton if they do this, but in Florida, if the play is going on, they will not let you walk to your seats.
Yeah, same
so
as
at the beginning of a period, and the bathroom lines go out the door over there. Yeah. They're not letting those guys through the concourse or down to the seats. And there's a executive club right behind where the center ice is, where the camera is, where there's like a full bar. So once again, those people are in there the first 2 minutes. But late in the game, I don't think I've seen a single seat empty the last couple of rounds. So the buzz is definitely there. And I think it is turning more into a hockey town. I was growing up in South Florida when there was 6,000 people in the crowd. Now you can't get a seat, a parking spot. It's nice to see.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, I've sensed it. I always kind of chuckle at that when they pick out a picture from, did you take that before intermission or during intermission or right after? Because, in lots of buildings, like in Edmonton, I'll tell you right now, fans who go to the game, they got to make a choice at intermission. Do I go to the beer line or do I go to the washroom line? Which one is it? Because it's hard to get both. And then, of course, they say, well, I want to get both. So, you know what? Then you might miss the first few. And especially if it goes like this, if the puck drops to start a period and it's one of those 3-4 minutes without a whistle, well, now everybody's just standing at the edge of their section waiting to get down there. So, no, that happens. I saw those pictures and I was like, oh, my goodness. And then people, the stuff that they believe on the internet is always mind-blowing to me. But nonetheless, what about the health of the Panthers here? Like they're, what you mentioned, like really the only lineup changes are switching Verhaeghe and Rodrigue, right? And so they're putting Rodrigue there. Maybe he's hot. They think there'll be a little bit more offense on that line, but they haven't really had to change their lineup at all. Especially lately. How much compared to last year, just how much of a difference is it for the Panthers that they're actually healthy?
Yeah, I was also there for that Cup final last year in Vegas, and you could tell that some of the guys were hobbled up, and obviously the Tkachuk was the most noticeable one. He couldn't even grip his stick after he took that hit from Kosar. So knock on wood for the Panthers, but they haven't really had too many injuries. The Barkov thing, they're not going to say what it actually was, but clearly it wasn't a broken jaw. Just based off the language was used, he might have been in concussion protocol. But they've been pretty lucky. They had the Sam Bennett injury early in the Tampa series where he missed quite a few games with that, and then he came back a better player than I've seen him play this season. So they've been lucky. And another thing is they kind of got bullied a little bit by Vegas last year, so they added extra depth players like the Lomberg, Gadjevich, or Nick Cousins that they can throw in the lineup if they need for that bottom pair or that fourth line, and they haven't really had to do that. All of their substitutions have been off of, maybe we need a little bit of a jolt of energy. We just lost this game, not this guy's a little banged up. So the Panthers have been relatively healthy this run.
Alex, we appreciate it. Congrats on getting out early so you can get into Edmonton, and you're here. Enjoy the atmosphere. We'll see you down at the rink.
Yeah, thanks, boys.
That's Alex Baumgartner joining us, the lone wolf of the Florida beat reporters, because all their flights were delayed and lots of them got canceled. And so they didn't get in. Some, I think, are coming in today, maybe, but it's not. I think actually quite a few of them were landing right around 2. I think the last I heard this morning was one flight was supposed to arrive at 3:54. So, if everything goes according to plan, land at the airport 3:54. It's a little bit of rush hour traffic. You should be able to get there once you get your bag, if you checked your bags, to get in and get to the rink in time for a puck drop, which will be around 6:20 in about just over 2.5 hours. Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan with you. We are live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave 118th. Your place to watch the game tonight. Boys and girls, it's going to be packed. It's going to be awesome. We'll have loads of fun. We'll come back. We'll get to Ryan's rant. Also, we're going to hear from Paul Maurice, also Chris Knobloch, and more on the Game Day Thursday edition of the Gregor Show on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, and Facebook, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Edmonton. Let's bring it home. This is Sports 1440.
Why tee off at the Ranch Golf and Country Club?
A fun, unique layout offering premier conditions. The Ranch has been ranked as one of the top public courses in Canada.
Unmatched value. Score Golf Magazine rated the Ranch as the best value in Edmonton.
The service, from tournaments to special events to the pro shop. Superior service that makes every visit exceptional.
The Ranch Golf and Country Club, a laid-back environment where anyone can enjoy an amazing day on the fairways. For details, visit theranchgolf.com.
For a limited time at McDonald's, enjoy the tasty breakfast trio. Your choice of chicken or sausage McMuffin or McGriddles with a hash brown and a small iced coffee for $5 plus tax. Available until 11 a.m. at participating McDonald's restaurants. Price excludes flavored iced coffee and delivery.
CW Eves Troughing is busy. That's why they're looking for experienced troughers to run one of their trucks. To get paid top rates, contact CW Eves Troughing at 780-435-1492 or email info@cweves.com.
Hi, Jason Gregor for Volvo of Edmonton. This summer, lease a new 2024 Volvo XC60 with 0% finance, or save up to $6,500 on select models for qualifying loyal customers. Plus a free 10-year, 1 million kilometer warranty with all demo vehicles. And if you're thinking hybrid, save $6,000 off all 2024 new and demo XC60 Recharge plug-in models. Discover why we're Canada's only 13-time Volvo Excellence Award winner. 1205 101st Street Southwest, or visit volvocarsedmonton.com.
Warmer, brighter days can make you crave something to sip. Booster Juice is busting out booster mixers, the summer fixers. Cold, tasty sippers in 5 vibrant varieties. The Mango Teaser, Berry Teaser, Almighty Acai, Game Set Matcha, and Oranges and Cream. Try all 5 and brighten your day a sip at a time. And try the Cookies and Cream Booster Ball, the yummy little bundle of almond butter, maple syrup, coconut, and gluten-free cookies. Visit a Booster Juice near you today or download the Booster Rewards app.
Finals fever is here, and it's all about the Oilers. We're boosting your odds and enhancing your parlays on all playoff games. Every bet on any game enters you into a draw to win seats for the 2024-25 hockey season, or 5 pairs of seats to 5 separate Oilers games for the 2024-25 season. Use promo code Gregor50 when you deposit at PlayAlberta.ca to receive a $50 free sports bet. Join the excitement and cheer on the Oilers. Let's bring it home. Bonus terms and conditions apply.
Introducing the Female Super League. Female hockey is on the rise with more women playing the game than ever. Join us as we pave the way for the future of women's hockey. The FSL is more than a game. It's a movement and an experience for the motivated female athlete. Teams will compete in a showcase-style format featuring consistent interprovincial competition. Come be part of the journey as the 2024-25 season unveils a 12U division, as well as the launch of a groundbreaking progressive body-checking 14U division. For more information, visit FemaleSuperLeague.com.
Bonton Bakery has been baking bread since 1956, but also offers a whole store of delicious local and specialty foods today. So we're not just your daily bread source. Bonton has treats for your friends and workmates, cakes for those special occasions, monthly features so you can try something new each time you visit, including many healthy options. There's something for everyone. Bonton Bakery, open 9 to 5, Tuesday to Saturday. Online at bonton.ca.
It's City Ford's Father's Day event. Join us this Saturday for a barbecue, indoor golf, games, and gifts for your dad.
During this Father's Day event, get massive discounts up to $22,000 on brand new F-150s, up to $8,000 on Edges and Broncos, up to $4,700 on brand new Escapes. Plus, 0% financing options are available. Just pick what's best for you.
Get a 2024 Bronco Sport for $209 bi-weekly, or a 2023 F-150 Super Crew for only $297 bi-weekly.
We have 17 previously owned SUVs, all under $500 a month, like a 2020 all-wheel drive Escape, only $187 bi-weekly. Plus, we have trucks galore. Get a 2021 F-150 Super Crew for only $258 bi-weekly.
Exclusive to City Ford. With every purchase, spin and win a barbecue, pressure washer, TV, pizza oven, or a trip to Vegas.
Join us this Saturday for a Father's Day barbecue, indoor golf, cornhole toss, giant pong game, ice cream sundaes, fun for the entire family, and a gift for your dad. But it's only at City Ford on the St. Albert Trail.
.345. Welcome back, Gregor, Terry Ryan, Connor Halley with you on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, and Facebook. Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, your one-stop shop. If you're looking for some fun, now remember, you got to use this before the playoffs end. Use the promo code Gregor50. That's Gregor50, and you'll get a $50 free play with a minimum $5 purchase only at PlayAlberta.ca. And get in a Lotto Max 55 mil tomorrow night. Not bad at all. We are live and on the rocks. We got a lot of texts coming in at 833-401-1440. We can't say for certain what the Oilers lineup is because we don't know. Now, you know the main things. McDavid's line's going to stay the same. Draisaitl was skating with Holloway and McLeod yesterday. When I talked to Ryan McLeod, I kind of got the sense that he was going to play with Draisaitl. Tonight, you had Henrique skating with Janmark and Brown, and then there was Foegele, Perry, and Carrick. Now, Carrick, I'm like 99% sure isn't playing, just based on how long he stayed out after practice this morning. I'm not sure I love that one, but we'll see. I'm not going to go crazy over it, but Kane didn't skate again. What does that mean? We don't know. So he's maybe. Darnell Nurse, yesterday, the coach said he was expecting him to play. Corey Perry, he thought was going to play. So there'll be at least one lineup change with Perry, and maybe that's straight up for Carrick, but maybe they go 11-7. Cody Ceci was off the ice pretty early today. Actually, he was off before any of the other defensemen that were out there skating. He was off before Kulak. He was off before Desharnais. He was off before Broberg. So really good chance you might see Cody Ceci back in the lineup tonight as well for the Edmonton Oilers. So we'll find out when warm-up gets going in about 2 hours' time. Panthers, no lineup changes, but they will juggle their top six. They're going to put Rodrigue on the top line with Barkov, and then they're going to move Verhaeghe with Bennett and Tkachuk. So we'll see. Let's get to Ryan's Rant, Terry's Tales, brought to you by Action Electrical, where, hey, you want to take action on your savings, they are the place to do it. Whether you're looking for a service, they got that. They do projects. They got electrical preventative maintenance and much, much more. Check it out at actionelectrical.net. Here is Terry Ryan.
Thank you, Jason. I'm going to veer away from hockey for a little bit. Just talk about something relevant that's been talked to death, though, but I'm going to go a different direction with it. Okay, so.
All right.
it's Caitlin Clark, and I don't want to start giving my opinion like everybody else, but I just want to chime in on the subject itself of the WNBA and her recent impact and all that. So, first of all, I mean, I always was curious about the WNBA. I didn't watch much. And then one day, a few years ago, I was watching, it was 2 years ago, maybe. Bill Burr has a stand-up set and he talks about, the WNBA and if people want equality and everything, and the people that are the loudest being Twitter and social media, why are there 5,000 people max in some of these stadiums that hold 20? So, and I have a daughter, so I was like, I should probably start paying attention to this a little bit. Just because it is interesting. When I grew up, I think I was subconsciously ignorant to it all. I just wouldn't watch women's sports because why would anybody watch the women? And then I got older and I realized there's a lot of great female athletes, and this is kind of overdue for me to start paying attention. So Caitlin Clark came around at the right time for me. So I started to pay attention to it, and there's some players now that there's a bit of a storyline, like anything. It's how I got into the NFL. We don't even have football here. It's not like I grew up playing it. So I got into that kind of by the storylines but those are in your face. But once I started to pay attention, I'll mention there's one girl that plays for Las Vegas, Jackie Young. I love the way she passes it. It's a lot of basketball IQ. I never would have known who she was. Angel Reese, the girl who hit Caitlin Clark, one of the, because these things show up on Instagram. That wasn't some like grizzled 15-year vet. That was also a rookie. I didn't realize that. Kaylee Copper, another lights out. Brianna Stewart, check that story out. It's great. One of the best ever. So I'm kind of into it now, and I think it will take off. And Caitlin Clark definitely catapulted me there. So I appreciate that and how the media covered it, at least when she was coming through the March Madness and everything else and going first. I understand there's hype around Connor Bedard. And I do think there's similarities in that I don't know because I don't cover the WNBA, but she got left off the American roster. People are going crazy. And I'm going, okay, well, I don't know. I just looked at the stats. I think she's like 12th or 13th, maybe even 15th in scoring. And I know it's not all scoring. She also has a lot of turnovers. Like, I'm just trying to educate myself like I can now. But who am I to say? What I really find annoying is, and these people are on there, Doris Burke, she covers it. Howie Megdal, Christina Williams, Holly Rowe, for example. There's 4 reporters that have reported on this for like over a decade. The people study it, and just there's lots more than that. I'm just saying these come to mind. So they must be so annoyed and upset when people, especially old white men that never watched a game ever until a month or two ago, all of a sudden are chiming in with their opinions. To me, I'm like, everybody's got to relax. Even those, I get that she gets fouled here and there. It's news, but there's other news. I understand why. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm out there and I'm, especially the girl Angel Reese, who's also a rookie. I didn't realize that. They made it seem like, oh, she's coming in and stealing the thunder of these vets. It's just people that are competitive. I understand it. Those players don't have to explain anything to me. I get it. That's what happens. That happens every game. Think of the chirps and the hits and the. I mean, we're talking about Draisaitl the other night nearly being suspended. This is one of the best players to ever put on a pair of skates that doesn't think that way at all. But, it's a competitive sport. But now, so none of the on-court stuff really surprises me. Someone's coming in with a neon sign on her head saying, I'm the media. I'm the one that, everybody's looking at me. If you stop me, you're going to have some attention too. Plus, the league's been around forever. No one's watched. I get it that she's coming through, and it's bringing a lot of eyes. I just stop short here at people like myself that have a podcast in their parents' basement, or even people that have been on for 30, 40 years, men yelling at other men and women about the situation. She should be on it. Guys, you didn't watch it. And I'm not saying Stephen A. Smith because he has reported on it. I know he was vocal, but he can be. He watches it, and he's dissected it for years. But a lot of people, especially in Canada, guys, do better for hockey shows that you never watched it. And I'm not specifically. It's all over the place. So I just think as media, sorry, we should all step back a bit. I've heard you, Jason. We talk about it. You've talked about it, but you don't talk about it from a perspective of a know-it-all perspective. But there's a lot of those out there. I guess she didn't make the Olympic team. I don't know enough of the other players. There's only 12. I do know that. There's a WNBA All-Star game that they play the U.S. Let Caitlin go off in that. There's an opportunity. You're young. Like, I just think I get people having opinion on Caitlin Clark and now on the WNBA, but the strong opinions from people that are trying to yell at others and win arguments that just started watching, I think we got to hit the brake a little bit on that and let it all play out. I think it's real interesting. I think she's great for the game, but there are other great players and there's other storylines. She didn't make it. More of a story be if she didn't make it next time. What'd you do wrong? 4 years into your career, you're not on it. My God, the girl just had her first tip-off a month ago, right? Connor Bedard was just benched not benched, but he didn't play much on Canada's C team at the Worlds. So, he might not be on Canada. We don't know. So anyway, I just think everybody needs to relax, especially if you don't know the sport and you don't know what you're talking about. If you can't name 10 people in the league, shut up.
I don't disagree. I've kind of been perplexed by watching the coverage here a little bit. I watched that foul and I was like, what? Why are they leading this with this foul? It was nothing. Second of all, it's not Sidney Crosby did not make the 2006 Canadian Olympic team. I think people forget that, right? Didn't make it because you know what? It's a really good country. There's lots of great women basketball players in the state. And really, if there was somebody who they should be debating over, it shouldn't be Caitlin Clark. It should have been Eureka Ogunbowale.
She's the second leading scorer of the league. I saw that.
And she's been unreal. This is her 6th year in the league. She is an absolute spark plug. She's 26 points a night. Are you kidding me? Like, she's 6-year vet. Like, she's the one who could say, excuse me, I might have had the biggest snub here. It is, it's odd. I understand, like, hey, there's Caitlin Clark mania, so a lot of people want to try to, jump on board with it, and that's fine. But I found a lot of faux outrage over her not making the team. I'm gonna yell and scream like, "Oh, this is such a travesty!" When most people watching are like, "No, there's 12 women better today. That doesn't mean that they'll be better than her. Maybe by even next year, right? Exactly. Or the year." But right now, today, 6 weeks into her pro career, she's not one of the top 12. And I actually think it's probably better for her because, the NBA, the way the schedule works, like, you come out of college and you don't have any, there's no, like, look at the draft comes up later this month, right? Most of the junior players or the NCAA players in hockey, their season ended April, May, definitely over now, right? And then they're going to train all summer. Then they get to come to their first program. Now, the vast majority of them go home because they're not ready to play, which is fine. But you look at Caitlin Clark, would she get like 10 days off? Right? Yeah. Like it might be the only league, I think. And it's just because of the time, and the WNBA doesn't want to go head-to-head against the NBA during the season. And I understand it. Arena availability may be a small portion of it, but it's more so like, hey, do we want to go head-to-head against the NBA and the NFL and the NHL all at once? Probably not. So I think it's a smart decision in when their season goes, but it is tough for those players who are drafted right away. They don't get any off-season. Right, you go right from playing to it. But I'm with you, man. It's a little bit overdone, no question. But it's always the reminder. And I love what you said about Bedard. Right, a lot of people might not even know that Connor Bedard was like the 13th forward for Canada at the World Championships because he was a rookie in the NHL and he's a good player. And he might become great at the NHL level. I don't know yet if he will. He might be because it's hard to be great, and then it's even harder to be elite. So we'll see where it goes on that one. I'm kind of curious about Bedard. Like, I thought it was unfair of him when we had people trying to compare him to Connor McDavid. I thought that was ridiculous. Like, Connor McDavid does things that we've never seen. And Connor Bedard is a really good player, but he doesn't skate like Connor McDavid. He's not even in the same conversation as a skater as Connor McDavid. He has a better release than Connor McDavid did coming out of junior. No question about that. So it is the Caitlin Clark effect. She got a lot of pressure on her. I'll say that. And I'm not saying that she can't handle it. I think she totally will. But it's tough for any athlete. There's lots of pressure coming out if you're the number one pick in any league. Hers seemed different because they were kind of hoping that she was going to springboard and they are getting more money into the WNBA because of her. So that helps. I would actually think most of the players are excited about it rather than it's like, But again, Terry, you know how it works. There's a fine line between respect and envy.
Yeah.
And it's a fine line for some people.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So we'll see. Hey, guys, what are the chances that Edmonton or Western Canada gets a WNBA team? It's good. Well, it's going to take a while, I would think, right? Like they just got into Toronto, right? And so they'll have a team. I would say, like, just because of the size, Vancouver probably would get a team first. But I think the WNBA is going to be smart with how they expand. I don't think they want to expand too quickly, right? That's never good for any league, right? So what do they got? 13 teams, if my memory is correct. Cons, is it 13 or 4? Maybe it's 14 now. I thought it was 13, but I'll double check that. And so, you know what? As they progress, eventually they might want to be a 20-team league. I would think maybe more. I got to remember, like the NHL was around for a long time. It was only 21-team league. It's expanded lots here recently. So the WNBA has grown, and I think it's grown at a nice pace. I think there's still lots of people that get confused when they try to say that it's all gender is the reason why they're not getting paid the same. Well, I always like to politely remind you, every man's league doesn't get paid the same. CFL players don't get paid the same as NHL players who don't get paid the same as NBA players who don't get paid the same. NFL players, you know what? NLL players. Let's go through the list of all the different leagues. It's about business, not just gender, right? And so, you know, I think it's a great avenue to have the WNBA and now the Professional Women's Hockey League. That's outstanding. But to think that just because they come in and they're going to have to get equality across the board in finances, it's delusional because it's not about gender. It's about business. No, the lacrosse guys don't get paid the same. We all know this, right? NHL players aren't on the same category as NFL or NBA, right? Yeah. And it's not because of where they come from. It just comes down to where the business model is.
Dollars and cents, man. Supply and demand. It's the way it goes.
100%. Right? It's got to be, for sure.
Your first, a good example, and some of these places, okay, so Halifax, like same thing. I didn't grow up here with football or lacrosse. I knew what they were. The odd game would come on TV. Same thing though. Atlantic Canada was never big on lacrosse, but Halifax now, I think it's the Thunderbirds. Whoa, man, it's rocking. The place is packed because it's something different. And I think those kind of size talent like Halifax, St. John's here again, we're a little bit out of it, but I know people would support it. For other reasons, it would probably be a while before either one of those PWHL or the WNBA or NLL would ever move here. But I just think we would support it. Halifax is a great example. I think places like that now for a lot of those leagues that are expanding might be a decent idea. It's just me. But sometimes, like you said, it gets saturated in a city with so much. Sometimes, you know, those middle-sized cities that have a passionate fan base, they'll come out to support it no matter what. And because of that, honestly, like Halifax now, it's a great example. Like they have a great minor lacrosse system. They got locals that are knocking on the door to play pro. And it was just a pretty much, I won't say overnight success because it takes a while to build, but they've really supported their lacrosse team. And like I said, there wasn't much lacrosse there. So I think that would be a good place for the WNBA to look in some places that, you know, well, you do your homework like anything. You do your homework and see who's going to come out. But I think there's places in Canada that will work, and I think there's more than a few.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get to Connor Halley and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. More than just tires now, of course. Oh, got great tires. But if you got any sort of mechanical issue, they got great, highly trained mechanics who will fit anything right away. Book your appointment at fountaintire.com. Here's Connor Halley.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day here in the city. Of course, we've got Oilers-Panthers Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final going down at Rogers Place around 6:20 tonight. Panthers up in that series 2-0. Off the ice, some news. The Rangers have signed forward Capo Kakko to a 1-year, $2.4 million deal. Kakko had 13 goals and 19 points in 61 games last season with the Rangers. Major League Baseball today, a bunch of finals. Braves double up the Orioles 6-3, Tigers over the Nationals 7-2, and the Royals over the Yankees, Cards over the Pirates 4-3 in both of those games. Still to come, you'll have the Cubbies in Tampa. Mets host the Marlins. Phillies take on the Red Sox. Athletics travel to Minnesota. Diamondbacks hosting the Angels. You got the White Sox in Seattle and the Dodgers hosting the Rangers. WNBA action tonight. Commissioner's Cup continues. Caitlin Clark and the Fever taking on the Dream at 5. Also at 5, the Storm travel to Texas to take on the Wings at 8 o'clock. Wraps up with the Mercury hosting the Las Vegas Aces. U.S. Open round 1 action. Patrick Cantley atop the leaderboard at 5 under par. You've also got Ludwig Aberg and Bryson DeChambeau sitting at 4 under. Rory McIlroy sitting at 3 under par. As for the Canadians in the field, Corey Connors dashed 1. Mackenzie Hughes and Taylor Pendrith both even. Adam Svensson 3 over. Adam Hadwin and Nick Taylor 4 over. And amateur Ashton McCullough is currently sitting +5. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll ask 5 questions, hear from members of the Oilers, and be joined by Stanley Cup champion and NHL Network analyst Mike Rupp. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station.
CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Christensen Communities, the name in active adult living. Enjoy retirement living without compromise. At Christensen, we understand that each lifestyle is unique. We are committed to providing choice through optional dining, personal services, recreation programs, and care plans to suit your current and future needs. Enjoy maintenance-free living and build new friendships in a safe, independent community. Large suites with full kitchens and in-suite laundry, on-site amenities, and so much more. Find out more today about our communities across the province at cdlhomes.com.
AccuSteel Heavy Haul Trailers have been providing highway and off-road custom trailers for over 25 years, bringing you innovative solutions for unconventional problems. They're your industry leader in engineered heavy haul trailer frame repairs, retrofits, rebuilds, and custom trailer fabrication. When you need to haul the largest machinery on the planet, they can do it with a premium engineered heavy haul trailer made right here in Alberta. They're 100% family owned, treating you like part of the family. Trust the experts at AccuSteel Heavy Haul Trailers. Learn more at accusteel.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
The Toronto Blue Jays are on Sports 1440. Every weekend, catch all the action with play-by-play announcer Ben Schulman. The Blue Jays, this Saturday and Sunday on Sports 1440. Edmonton's home for all things sports.
What's cracking at Cattail? Their men's league. Play 18 holes for 18 weeks on Tuesdays from 2 to 6 p.m. Then complete the day and head to Out of Bounds. Recently ranked one of Canada's top 10 in fine dining restaurants. For details, visit cattailcrossing.ca. Hey Edmonton, ready to power up your projects with unbeatable strength and efficiency? Step into Edmonton Kubota, where our massive inventory meets all your needs. From rugged tractors and loaders to nimble mowers and utility vehicles, we've got the machines that work as hard as you do. And guess what? This month, we're rolling out exclusive deals that'll make your heart race faster than our engines. Drive down to Edmonton Kubota or visit edmontonkubota.com to discover how we can boost your efficiency, productivity, and fun. Edmonton Kubota, powering your passion with every turn of the key.
Edmonton Stingers basketball face the Ottawa Blackjacks Thursday, June 20th at the Edmonton Expo Center. Enjoy affordable family fun with a $5 food and drink menu and free parking. Tickets start at just $20. Visit thestingers.ca/tickets.
Hi, it's Jason Gregor. We're looking for an experienced salesperson to join us as we continue to grow the Sports 1440 brand across the province. Of course, you'll sell Mornings with Karras, Low Tide Show, The Frenzy, as well as my show. No radio sales experience is needed, but you need some sales experience. You have to love sports, and you must be a hunter and driven. The base salary plus commissions for this great opportunity, and trust me, you'll have loads of fun working with us. Email your resume to Gregor at sports1440.ca. We look forward to having you on the team.
It's City Ford's Father's Day event. Join us this Saturday for a barbecue, indoor golf, games, and gifts for your dad.
During this Father's Day event, get massive discounts up to 22 grand on brand new F-150s, up to 8 grand on Edmonton Broncos, up to $4,700 on brand new Escapes. Plus, 0% financing options are available. Just pick what's best for you.
Get a 2024 Bronco Sport for $209 bi-weekly, or a 2023 F-150 Super Crew for only $297 bi-weekly.
We have 17 previously owned SUVs, all under $500 a month. Like a 2020 all-wheel drive Escape, only $187 bi-weekly. Plus, we have trucks galore. Get a 2021 F-150 Super Crew for only $258 bi-weekly.
Exclusive to City Ford. With every purchase, spin and win a barbecue, pressure washer, TV, pizza oven, or a trip to Vegas.
Join us this Saturday for a Father's Day barbecue, indoor golf, cornhole toss, giant pong game, ice cream sundaes, fun for the entire family, and a gift for your dad. But it's only at City Ford on the St. Albert Trail.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We're excited to announce that we now have machining capacity in-house. Quicker turnarounds, improved quality control, and ultimate flexibility. Call 780-436-2000 or email colin@cantork.com to find out more.
Just after 4 o'clock. Welcome back, Jason Gregor. Connor Halley, Terry Ryan with you on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, and Facebook, as we are about just over 2 hours away from puck drop in Game 3 tonight. It's the Oilers and the Florida Panthers. You can come watch the game right here at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street. And starting some of the early crowd is getting here. It's starting to move in. I like it. Should be loads of fun. You can get $4.50 beers and 60-cent wings and lots of big screens and great vantage points to watch the game everywhere. Of course, all the sound is on, and you'll have a great time tonight at On the Rocks, and of course Saturday as well for Game 4. The Gregor Show is always presented by PlayAlberta.ca. So hey, remember, $1,000 a day for life. And get your tickets there. You can use the promo code Gregor50. Get a $50 free play with a minimum $5 deposit. We got a lot of texts coming in, 833-401-1440. People wonder, hey guys, any idea how the TV numbers are doing in the U.S.? Actually, I saw a report the other day that the TV number, these are the best Stanley Cup playoff numbers that it had, like going back to 1996. And I think, like, if Edmonton wins tonight, I think it just will increase those numbers because you have the best player in the world, right, in the Stanley Cup final against a team that was there the last year. A team is very good, and so there's lots of intrigue to watch it. So, Edmonton makes this a series, I think the numbers are only going to climb, but they've had pretty good numbers right now. For those golf fanatics out there wondering what is happening in the U.S. Open, Patrick Cantley is still the clubhouse leader at 5 under, and then Bryson DeChambeau making a charge. He's now at 4 under, and he's still on the course. Ludwig Aberg also 4 under. Rory's at 3 under, as is Matthew Pavon. Rory has about 3 holes to go. And then another guy who's a few other guys still on the course in contention. Top Canadian today, Corey Connors. He's at 1 under. Lots of text to get to. Hey guys, do you think to be considered the best player, you need to be good on both sides? There's no way McDavid should be described as the best player. He's the best offensive player. That's it. Barkov is now the best in the world, from Marty. Yeah, it's interesting because when you say best defensive player, so if the goal, if you're a better defensive player, how much better do you have to be defensively than the other guy so it counters out, right? Like, what's harder to do? Score goals or defend?
Yeah.
You can get in the right position, Terry. You can commit to being good with your stick and have the placement, but it's really hard to be an elite goal scorer. But anyway, in the playoffs, if your argument is Barkov's better, in the playoffs, 5-on-5 numbers, not power play, 5-on-5. Barkov has been on the ice for 11 goals for, 8 goals against. He has 8 points. So he's +3, 5-on-5. Now, you can look at shots for and everything else, and we can go through that afterwards, but I'm just looking at the one that matters the most to me, goals. So he's +3. Now, McDavid's been on the ice for 21 goals for, 13 goals against. He's +8. McDavid has a 57% expected goals. Barkov has a 58. Shot share, McDavid has a 59%. Barkov has a 58. So I'd say it's rather close, right? The difference is Barkov has been on for fewer goals, yes, 5, but McDavid's been on for 10 goals more. So when he's on the ice, the Oilers are +8. When Barkov's on the ice, they're +3. I think it's misleading sometimes when we suddenly start to value defense as like, and Terry, you played. Defense is more about a commitment. Like, yes, you need to have hockey sense and position stuff, but it's just a consistent commitment to do it. And some guys will do that more because they don't have the ability to be a high-end scorer.
I totally agree. Yeah, I agree with that. And some are better than others. First of all, I don't think Connor is like horrible defensively.
No, he's not. He's improved a lot.
Not. And sometimes though, like if you're Connor McDavid, just think about it. Like, you don't have to play pro to get a relative idea in your head. Pucks on the boards, sometimes if you completely stop and your feet are in cement and you do the absolute best defensive play, when you're not going to, you'd almost, you don't want to take a complete chance and leave your team out to lunch, but the best players have a knack for figuring out when to go and when to not, when to cheat, when to not. McDavid, I like to have his feet going. So, err on the side of caution, but you're Connor McDavid here. I trust you, and a few times you're probably going to get caught for a fraction of a second, but that's because you're McDavid. I had Brian Scrudlin on my podcast yesterday, Tales with TR. And Scrood, that's coming out tomorrow. And Scroods is a great example. He was up for the Selke one year, right? And he was, but he concentrated. I've talked to them. He concentrated on defense. He wasn't thinking offense at all in his own end. He was, and McDavid has to. How many goals does he get off the rush, right? And by McDavid, I'm including a lot of the top centers players in the league, right? So I think Barkov is definitely fantastic at what he does, and to have that level of defensive commitment is to be nothing but to be commended and respected. But I stop short at saying he's better than McDavid. I just, but why? Because they're up 2-0 in the final. Like, there's 32 teams in the league. They're here. To me, I really would love to see a generational player like McDavid. I've said it before, come home with a cup. Most of them have done it in hockey, but just getting here to the final is real tough. I remember in Eric Lindros doesn't have a Stanley Cup. Remember in 95, it was a lockout, it was shortened season, I think.
Flyers.
They made the fun. He gave it everything. For anybody to say that, well, this guy's better than him because of a plus minus. I think he was the MVP that year. He might have tied for the scoring lead, but I think he might have been MVP. Why does that stand in my mind? I don't know. I was 94, 95. I was in the draft. I was trying to compare myself to power forwards. Not that I could ever compare myself to Eric Lindros, but I had a real eye on him and a magnifying glass. And I was, so no one could, for me, question the fact that he was the best all-around player around. Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux were in the league. They were way better scorers, but I just respected people for what they did. And Brian Scrudlin there, give him a shout out. He was 2 years off being voted, number 2 for the Selke. So I hate putting players in a box. I respect them for what they did. Overall, what would you do? Come on, you'd take McDavid over Barkov every single time. I respect Barkov, though. He's playing great.
Oh, hey, Barkov has taken the torch from Patrice Bergeron. I think he's an outstanding player. It was like when people try to compare it and suggest that Jonathan Toews was better than Sidney Crosby because they'd won a few cups and, he's a better defense player. He couldn't hold it. He was not. And thanks to Jonathan Toews, he goes, dude, I'm not Sidney Crosby. Like, are you kidding me? And now later in Crosby's career, everyone's like, oh, Crosby doesn't. Now because he's not leading the league in scoring, what do people say? Well, he doesn't get enough credit for his defensive game. defensive, when you start ramming about someone's defensive game, it's because they don't have the elite offensive game. That's just a fact, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's not a knock at him, but that's just the truth. So, hey, Bergeron could play on my team any day. Right? So could Barkov. And I'm very intrigued, though, Terry, from what Paul Maurice said about Barkov. He said on home ice, they really like to match him up against the other team's best guys, and so you like to see his Selke side. These are Maurice's words, not mine.
Yeah.
Said on the road, though, they don't go for it as much. We feel now you can use more of his offensive sides. So I'm going to watch closely to see, do we see Barkov creating more offensively tonight? Because in theory, it makes sense, right? He's not concentrating, because if he's not out against McDavid as much, although I don't know if it's going to be that drastic. Let's be real here. I'm pretty sure they're still going to try to get Barkov's line out against McDavid. Why wouldn't you? He's really good. But maybe it's 2 minutes less. Like maybe it's 3 or 4 shifts fewer a game, right? We'll see. But, I'm kind of intrigued by what Paul Maurice said. I didn't look up the splits yet. I probably should. Barkov, home and a road. Do I see a significant difference in actual point production from him home and on the road? It would be interesting. But that is something to watch. If you believe what Maurice said, that Barkov on the road, they get to see more of his offensive creativity because he's not locking up as much as he does on home ice against other teams' best guys. So we'll see. Hey, guys, book it. McDavid's in a black suit tonight. He'll get 5 points. I know everybody's loving the suit look, eh? It's quite comical. But, hey, you know what? I don't get upset about it. I think it's kind of funny. It's all good. You know what? He had the gray, tried it for a while, and I don't mind if a guy, because trust me, I know for a fact, we're here at On the Rocks. I can guarantee, and TR, he has his snakeskin boots. When TR is looking, you know what? Maybe I'm looking to meet the next future, Mrs. Ryan. I'm going to be wearing my snakeskin boots because I just feel more confident. Well, there's lots of guys and gals who have their favorite shirt. They have their favorite pants. Like, you know what? I like this one. It hugs my buns a little bit better. I like it. So why would McDavid be any different? Why would he? He's a human being. If the gray suit makes him feel good, maybe he's a little superstitious, or a little stitious, like Michael Scott, away you go. But everybody has a favorite. I'm sure, TR, you got your favorite shirt when you were looking like, you know what, I'm going somewhere. Maybe I want to catch the eye of a lady. This is what I'm going to wear.
For sure. And not only that, it spills over. I don't know if people find this so hard to understand. It spills over into real life. How many times have you been on a roll in anything? And you either wear the same suit, you probably won't have to wear, I don't know, same watch. How many times you put something in your wallet for luck every time you go to a certain place? I remember I had a good game way back in minor hockey, way back. And all I could remember about the game the next day was that I scored my last shot in warm-up. So that became a thing that I've always done till this day. I'll put the puck in the, again, that's kind of given my mind a little, not a reset, but a comfort. Like, I'm not really, I say I'm not superstitious because I really don't think that that's helping me, but it helps my mindset be comfortable. And why not, if I can repeat something that I did when I was ultra successful, maybe it's a combination of nostalgia and luck, but I feel better. So why not?
Quick break. When we come back, Mike Rupper, who got a big got a big mention in the NHL media notes today. They were talking about surprise Stanley Cup performances from Evan Rodrigue. Pisani, of course, was in there for the Edmonton Oilers, and old Rupper was in there for his. He came out of nowhere as a rookie, right? Joined in and got into the Cup final. Had 4 points in 4 games for old Mike Rupp. Including the game winner. Not bad at all. So we'll talk to Rupper next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, coming to you live at OTR Jasper Ave and 118th Street.
Hold on to your hockey helmet, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 60-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot.
And Molson Canadian for $4.50.
OTR's TVs, they're so clear.
You'll see the puck better than the ref.
Plus, every game night during Edmonton's playoff run gives you a chance to be part of the Sack Attack.
You could win a Hyman jersey.
This is our year.
And our time to cheer.
Be a part of the legend.
On the Rocks.
On the Rocks. Jasper Ave and 118th.
excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
For a limited time at McDonald's, enjoy the tasty breakfast trio. Your choice of chicken or sausage McMuffin or McGriddles with a hash brown and a small premium roast coffee for $5 plus tax. Available until 11 a.m. at participating McDonald's restaurants. Price excludes delivery.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Warmer, brighter days can make you crave something to sip. Booster Juice is busting out booster mixers, the summer fixers. Cold, tasty sippers in 5 vibrant varieties. The Mango Teaser, Berry Teaser, Almighty Acai, Game Set Matcha, and Oranges and Cream. Try all 5 and brighten your day a sip at a time. And try the Cookies and Cream Booster Ball, the yummy little bundle of almond butter, maple syrup, coconut, and gluten-free cookies. Visit a Booster Juice near you today or download the Booster Rewards app.
For 50 years, GS Construction has been laying the groundwork for your community. But they couldn't have done it without building their employees from the ground up. Many of GS Construction's employees started without any industry experience at all. But because of such programs such as GS's Next Person Up, they've gone on to become valued members of the team. If you want to join the team as a laborer, pipe layer, or pipe layer's helper, lead hand, operator, top man, or woman, or water and sewer foreman, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Solid financial plan is made up of more than just investments. Investments are an important part, but you need a more comprehensive approach. Vincent Pearson at Weird Pearson Akel & Associates Private Wealth Management understands that. He can help build a plan that includes retirement, estate planning, personal insurance, tax strategies, and yes, investments. Talk to him today and see the difference a real financial plan makes. Weird Pearson Akel & Associates. Call 780-988-4119 or visit weirdadvisoryteam.com.
Play more, pay less. With Fairways to Heaven. Up next, we're heading to one of Northern Alberta's top-rated golf courses, Athabasca. Simply stunning. Monday, June 17th, a twosome can tee off with us at the Athabasca Golf and Country Club for only $80 with Power Cart. Just $80 for you and a friend. Plus, everyone's invited to join us at Athabasca on June 17th to enter the draw for this season's grand prize, a $1,500 prepaid visa from the Golf Cart people. Or scan the QR code in their showroom. Book now and save big at K97fairways.ca. Fairways to Heaven.
Wendy's Small Frosty is the ultimate summer refreshment. And not because it's cool and creamy and made with fresh Canadian dairy. It's also refreshingly cheap. Just 99 cents until July 14th. It's a treat for you and your wallet. Taxes extra at participating Wendy's.
Sandstorm pouring on a lovely Thursday afternoon, 2 hours from puck drop, Game 3, Oilers and the Florida Panthers. And hey, it keeps filling up here at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave and 118th Street. Come on in. Make sure you get your seat. You want to get here early. Great deals, great vantage point to enjoy the game. It's Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan with you. The Gregor Show, as always, is presented by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, where you got some time. If you want to get in there, use a promo code Gregor50 and get your free play PlayAlberta.ca, $50 free play with a minimum $5 purchase. Now, let's get to our weekly guest. Usually he's on Wednesdays, but hey, with all the travel and everything else, he joins us today. Mike Rupp, of course, from the NHL Network, Stanley Cup winner. Got a shout out today, Rupper, in the NHL Stanley Cup media notes as far as unexpected Stanley Cup performances, where you need an unheralded guy. There's old Mike Rupp listed in there with your big performance, 4 points in 4 games. Not bad, Rupper. How you doing?
Oh, what's up? It wasn't unexpected for probably just me and my mother. We're the only 2 people in the world that would think I would come through. So no, it's great being a part of, I guess, the Stanley Cup Finals history.
Oh God, yeah, why not? You kidding me? And a game winner, it's pretty big deal. So it's loads of fun. And so Evan Rodrigue is that guy right now for Florida. He's actually got 3 goals on 3 shots. Like everything the guy's shooting is going in. He has the most goals in the Stanley Cup Final of somebody who didn't, he's got 3 goals already and even have 3 in the first 3 rounds. The NHL sends out all these stats. Are kind of interesting, but there's a guy, hey, you obviously need guys like that. And Edmonton would love someone like that, Rupper, but I think the bigger priority for Edmonton tonight is the big guns got to start shooting and firing. Right? Like you're not going to go deep and win in this Cup Final if your big guys aren't producing.
No, and yeah, you're bang on there. I mean, it's the big guys got to start putting the puck in the net, and that doesn't mean they've been playing poorly. I mean, they've had some opportunities. It always feels foolish when anybody really. I don't know if anybody's really qualified, probably in the world, to give Leon and Connor advice on how to score or get some points. I'm certainly not qualified for that, but I will say this: I think Connor needs to shoot the puck. I think that's an area that he can. This is the guy that he got 64 last year. I just think that the way that they're being played, the way that the Panthers are approaching it, is we're going to take away Connor's options. And I don't believe they're doing a good job when Connor kind of gets going in the offensive zone and kind of starts skating around in the big circle in the offensive zone. They're doing a good job of keeping him to the outside, but I feel like he's had looks mostly on the power play where he's trying to find the couple of staples that have been so good all year, whether it's Hyman on the backside or Leon in that goal line extended. I like to see him shoot the puck more because then you're going to have to play him differently because this guy's got a shot that can beat, any goaltender. So, and then probably the same note is with Bouchard. I think Evan Bouchard, he's had a couple posts in the series so far, but I like to see him be a little more selfish with shooting the puck. And I think that can soften up Florida a little bit because they've done net front and those tight areas around the net. I mean, they have done an incredible job of taking those options away.
Paul Maurice said because on the road, he thinks that Barkov can be a little bit more offensive because he's not going to be playing McDavid where the job is to shut him down as much. You watched the Panthers way more than I did this year. I was looking at the numbers and the actual production numbers don't necessarily reflect that very much, right? Like against the Rangers, Barkov was on the ice for 1 goal for, and he was on the ice for 1 goal against in that series, right? Which is obviously it's great when you're only on for 1 goal against, but it wasn't like he was, producing a ton 5-on-5. Now they did score in game 1. Barkov obviously got the assist against McDavid's line, so he's definitely done it. But have you noticed a significant difference in an offensive creativity from Barkov when they're on the road?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so necessarily. I mean, it's been well documented. He's had and has done quite a job in the playoffs here. He's had a lot on his plate, and I thought he's handled it really well as far as kind of slowing down the other team's best offensive players. Something interesting that I heard today with our own Billy Jaffe of the NHL Network was interviewing Gustav Forsling, and Forsling kind of made a comment about being on the road here and being out there and playing against, say, Connor and Leon, and basically they're told that if we're out there and those guys aren't, then we're going to try to make a change when we can. And I was surprised kind of that he said that. We know from watching Paul Maurice wants them out there, but it sounds like they really are going to try to look for that again here in this game of getting them out there. And it's something that it could be tricky. I think Paul Maurice is way too experienced and way too good of a coach to let matching slow and kind of throw a wrench into what they're doing. But it could be something to pay attention to. Maybe that doesn't or isn't the case with Barkov. Maybe they're so convinced that they have to get out there with those guys that it starts disrupting them. So, but nonetheless, I mean, if you're Edmonton, you got to get back in this series. You're going to have to get production, no matter who's on the ice and who and what kind of matchups they're trying to get.
Rupper, Edmonton have a few injuries. Notable ones would be Nurse and Kane. If you could get a dozen or so minutes out of either one, which one would you play?
Well, I think Darnell Nurse is, they're going to be. This is a situation with it's a lot of these injuries are adding up here, right? Like I think everybody's pretty certain that Evander Kane's, I'm assuming not in. I think you can go 11-7. And when you obviously go 11-7, you can't really afford a player to start a game and not finish. And we did see him and Knobloch having that long time on the ice chatting yesterday. And I don't know. I wasn't a part of that conversation, but we've also seen many times and TR, like coaches will say, hey, where are things at? And a lot of times it's, can you finish the game? And as a player, that gets really tough when coaches ask you that, right? Like, cause you want to lay everything out there for the boys and you've worked so hard to get here. If you're Evander Kane, I just don't think there's any indication that he can provide I can finish and be effective. I don't see him playing in this game. So I think Darnell Nurse, though, hopefully he could be more healthy than we've seen. He's kind of in and out and keeps trying to give it a go. But that's the luxury, I guess, of bringing in a Cody Ceci back in the lineup and see what that can do for you. But, it's going to be a challenge. But I also think in this game, it's a must win. I think regardless, you want to go with, 4 lines. You want to go with 60 or whatever the circumstances. You need all hands on deck to win a Stanley Cup. But right now, I don't think they're looking at past this game. Like, I think the bench is going to be shortened regardless. So I think you're going to play 3 lines. I wouldn't be surprised if this Oilers team can get a lead in this game early. I wouldn't, there's the center ice. Do you move Nuge? Do you put him at third line center? Like, do you try to find different things to start trying to spread the wealth a little bit? But I think they're going to shorten the lineup tonight, and maybe maybe they'll be forced to do that because they're going 11-7.
Rupper, when you guys,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, sir.
When you guys won the cup, I noticed your leading scorer, 57 points. Like, that's wild. So and that's Patrick Elias. Niedermeyer, Neuendijk, Friesen, Langenbrunner. A lot of great NHLers there. Now, by the time you got to the finals, it's a grind. How do you remember them leading? Was it playing through pain? Was it anybody standing up and giving the boys a talk when the chips were down, or was it just basically leading by example?
Yeah, so I was a black ace until the finals, so I wasn't in a part of things to the finals. When I got to the finals, though, and I remember just seeing the amount of bodies that are on the table post game and ice and guys dealing with things. You guys were fighting through things that it was new to me. I was a rookie. I was like, whoa, these guys are kind of hanging on for dear life here. It's a lot of it's psychological, probably more than anything, that you're fighting through it. But I also thought that, I was fortunate enough to be on a team where a lot of the guys have already won multiple cups, and you look to them and they're just calm and acting like it's another day at the office. So I think that's really big to lean on veteran guys, and to, even though the circumstance of the series and the moment is huge and there's a ton of pressure, to just be relaxed. And everyone's going to give everything they have, but just to also not get carried away, right? Like, it's an emotional, it's so difficult in the Stanley Cup Finals because you're trying to find levels inside yourself that you've never found before, but then you're also responsible with being very smart in your decision making. And we all know when your emotions get going in life, like a lot of times you don't make the best decisions, right? So you got to manage the puck, play away from the puck, all those things. So I think it's really important to have the veteran guys kind of be that calming influence on the group.
Mike Rupp joins us here on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation YouTube and Facebook. Oilers Panthers Game 3 tonight. Mike, you've been in that room, and there's just something, especially in the salary cap era. The team that comes home for Game 3, they get a big boost. They're 14-4 in those 18 games. They're actually 10-2 for teams that are down 0-2 in the series, right? Like, you've been in there, and like, we know it's emotional. We know it's a big deal, but even then, it's kind of hard to match that emotion of the other team when they've got that desperation of like, God, if we lose tonight, our cup dream's pretty much over.
Yeah, I mean, desperation. It's very hard to manufacture it when a team when there's one team that's really desperate and really you're not. I think the great teams are able to get as close to that as they can. But you know what? I know we always talk about in every playoff series or Stanley Cup Finals when you go back to the other city for games 3 and 4, and it's like, oh, the crowd's going to be loud and they're going to lean into that. I mean, honestly, we say that a lot because it's true, but I don't know. Can't remember like this atmosphere tonight. I just think the way this series has gone, Edmonton really needs this crowd. And like this Florida team, the way that it has gone psychologically in this series from Game 1 where the Oilers should have won that game, and to not win that game, and to know that Florida is going to be better. And then the way that Game 2 kind of went, and you can almost feel like it's like you can kind of feel like they're being suffocated a little bit here. And it's Florida's just they're rolling. They're making all the right decisions. Their attention to detail, especially away from the puck, has been so good, and it's frustrating. It's almost like you're sitting there. You need a spark. You need life. You need a spark, and you're sitting here. You've got Darnell Nurse, who you don't know how he's going to do, or how he's going to be, or if he's going to be able to go. And you got Evander Kane is a guy that can give you a spark. You've got other players banged up in this lineup. You need a spark. I mean, these fans, they can provide a spark here. Like, they can make this atmosphere, and I would expect it to be. I mean, we did our show down there at the Moss Pit, and it was starting to fill up just a little bit ago. And I'm like, man, I can't wait to see this barn here tonight. I can't wait to see. This will be my first time covering a Stanley Cup Finals in Canada. But here in Edmonton, and man, we had Mess on, we had George LaRocque on. These guys are all just telling how nuts it's going to be. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, man, this is all those times we say it. This might be the one that rings true more than ever. The Edmonton Oilers need this crowd to be extremely loud here tonight.
And you know what? Like the one advantage of being in the Canadian market is you have a lot of fans who I think understand. Not that they wouldn't necessarily do it in some of the states, but like I look at Game 4 against Dallas. And I've been in the rink a lot, Rupper. Like, I still think 06 was the loudest I've ever heard the rink. Now it's different acoustics too, so it's going to be hard to ever match that old rink. But it was a gong show. But against Dallas, when they got down 2-0 the first 5 minutes of Game 4 in the conference final, Dallas scored early and it was quiet, and then it stayed quiet, and then it was like literally you could hear a pin drop when they went up 2-0, and I was like, oof. And then just slowly the fans themselves, and there's a section right below where I sit. It's like 224, 225. They just started like, a random chant. And then eventually the crowd just got into it, and the building got louder and louder and louder. And they were just like, hey, we got to do something. And the players talked about it afterwards. Like, they're like, man, the crowd really helped us. And so I think that's going to be the case tonight. If Florida gets up early, I'm sure there'll be like a stunned, few curse words. And then the fans will be like, well, we better get back into there, or at least try to help, because it worked against Dallas. And like, it was noticeable.
Yeah. I mean, and plus the factor you got to take into account too, it's been a long time since these fans have been in this position, right? Since 2006. Yeah. So, I mean, that's even more so, but man, it's, you need those moments. You need those, that's something that's never going to change in sports. Like, right when we're growing up and we're thinking of playing in the NHL and we're on our driveway or we're playing on the pond, like, we're thinking of the crowd noise, man, right? Like, we're thinking of scoring those moments and the craziness, and that's the stuff that gives you chills as a kid. And right now, you need to kind of embrace that and get those feels again, because they need that emotion. They need to find a way to inject some emotion into the game tonight. The crowd's going to be a big factor, but the start here is huge. I mean, does that travel yesterday? It's not ideal. I don't know if it's going to be a huge storyline, but I'm pretty sure, at least in my experience of having some travel issues for games, it'll be a factor in the first few minutes of the game, first period. Okay. I mean, this first period could be something where Edmonton, and we know how strong their first periods are, they can really make a mark here early on with the electricity in the building and just kind of take advantage of the circumstances.
DR?
Rupper, I want to know one thing, man. When you were there, so you mentioned getting in. I think it's a fantastic story, obviously one of the best in the playoffs. But when you went in for your first game after all that time and you're a rookie in the Stanley Cup Finals, what in the name of God was going through your head? I mean, it can't be like every other game. You can try to, deal with it, but it must have been a wild experience, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was game 4. I had no indication I was going to play. We're in Anaheim. We got in there. We got off the bus. I don't remember. Say it was 7:00 West Coast time was the game. Say it was, we got off the bus at whatever 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I was changing to go ride the bike with the trainer and the other guys who weren't playing. And I remember the trainer says, Pat wants to talk to you. And Bernsey was the king of manipulating your emotions. And I remember Bernsey, he's like, yeah, he wants to talk to you. I'm like, oh, okay. So Bernsey kind of comes up to me and he gets up in pretty close to my face and he goes, did you go out last night? And I'm like, I'm what? I'm like, no, I didn't go out last night. And he goes, you didn't go out last night? I'm like, no, Pat, I didn't go out last night. And truly, fellas, I didn't. I was a rookie. I was trying to stay out of everybody's way. I was like, I'm like, and Patty Eliash was my roommate. I'm like, ask Patty. I was in bed at 10:30. Like, Pat, you brought me out. I'm a black ace. Like, I'm trying to stay out of your guys' way. He goes, I swear to God, if I find out you went out last night, you'll never play in this GD league again. Wow. And I'm like about to poop my pants. I'm like, what's happening right now? He goes, go get dressed. You're playing. So you know what, TR? None of that stuff was going in my mind. I was so scared that if I fall down or miss a pass, he's going to think I was out last night. I'm never going to play in this league again. I wasn't thinking about playing in the Stanley Cup Finals. I was just going out there trying to survive, and it was genius by him because you know how it is. Once you get one game under your belt, first game I got a high stick. I got to get stitches on my eyebrow. You start feeling those bruises, the slashes on my forearm. I'm like, all right, this is what I dreamt about. And from there on, I was relaxed.
Did he tell you afterwards that was his plan, was to just try to distract you so you weren't thinking about the how monumental of a moment it was?
No, he didn't tell me that at all. But honestly, he had to have. At that time, if you would have known me early on in my career, I didn't drink anything. I was just trying to walk I was kind of get after that a little bit and junior hockey and tried to clean it up. I thought that's what was going to make me be there. Like nobody would have thought I would go out drinking and going out all night. I don't know why, but he got me tricked in thinking like, oh man, I better play well or I'm never going to play in this league again.
But now, so they did you have time to even call your parents to tell them you were playing?
That's a great question. I don't remember back. I'm sure I notified them somehow. I am sure I did. They were watching the games regardless because they knew I was traveling with them. And, the other part about it too, then I found out later, Jacques Caron, the goalie coach. So after practice, in these traveling in the finals, there's the guys that were playing third, fourth line, and then the extras were doing some shooting drills, and Marty was doing like a lot of his work, and then we had Corey Schwab, and he was doing he was our backup, so we're getting the goalie work in before we got bag skated. I remember I still distinctly remember this. I don't know what it was, guys, but it sounds weird to say it, but literally I was in this little. In practice, I was every puck I was shooting was going in, and I felt like. I don't know. I felt good, but I never thought I was going to get in. Jacques Caron told me later on, years later, that he saw me in practice, and he was like, "We need a spark." And this kid, everything he's touching right now is going into practice. And I think he said something to Bernsey. And then maybe he said, go scare the hell out of them too. I don't know if he told him that, but it all came together and worked out.
Well, it definitely worked out. Game 7, goal, 2 assists, 3 points, and the Devils win the Stanley Cup. That was on June 9th, Rupper, 2003. Obviously, I'm pretty sure you know the date. But, man, like when you look at like everybody wants to have that one game, and every kid dreams about it. But you did it in game freaking 7 in only your 4th game. Like, do you ever kind of look back and say, that's unreal? Like, how many times have you watched a tape of that game?
You know, and I didn't watch it. I watched it the first time, honestly, like 5 or 6 years ago. And it is our line. So this is the part 2. And this is why Pat Burns was such a great coach. I mean, he was hard. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Like that guy, borderline, made me almost in tears as a young player. Like he was really hard. And, but I also learned later on and had a good relationship with him. Unfortunately, after, you know, he got sick and he wasn't coaching, where I learned that he was trying to get me to a different level. But, you know, he did those things I already said to kind of whatever his goal was there. But he also put me in a situation to succeed, right? Like I came into the lineup for Joe Nieuwendyk, who was out. He was hurt. That's why I got the opportunity. Knew he was hurt. I come in and he puts me with Jamie Langenbrunner and Jeff Friesen, who are top 5 in playoff points, right? So I'm playing on arguably our top line. I'm centering our top line. And so, you know, he didn't just put me out there to navigate 6-7 minutes. Like he put me out there to be impactful. And I was fresh as a daisy because these guys have been slugging it through these playoffs for the last 2 months, and I haven't done that. So I give him a ton of credit. But I watched that game back, and those guys were so good. Jamie Langenberg, Jeff Friesen, myself. Our MO, all 3 of us as players, was our forecheck game. And in that game 7, when I watched it back 5-6 years ago, and I talked to these guys about it too, we could have had 5 or 6 goals. It was the best. It was one of those nights where the puck was falling. I never had a night like that again the rest of my life. Probably never had one like that before that. But on that one night, it was just everything was coming up daisies for us.
Oh, that's awesome. Rupper, great stuff, man. We'll see you at the rink. It's going to be a fun atmosphere. Your first playoff game in Canada. Enjoy it.
I can't wait. I'm going to swing by the Moss Pit on the way in, and I'm going to go check. I can't wait to watch the start of this game. I really can.
Awesome. Thanks, man. We'll see you at the rink. That's Mike Rupp. That's an unreal story, man. Great question, TR. I love it. Like, Pat Burns. Were you out last night? If I find out you were out, you're never playing. That's unreal. Just scaring the hell out of me.
I can see how it worked. Yeah, I can see exactly where he was coming from.
Yeah, it worked out. Well, we can't talk to him, unfortunately. Rest in peace. But it would be great to ask him, like, was it your moment, or were you just trying to, were you actually testing to see if the kid went out or not? But either way, it worked out for Rupper. Quick break. We'll come back with 5 questions and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, live and on the rocks. Jasper.
It's
Teague Street.
Stanley Cup back to Canada for the first time since 1993. Let's go, Oilers. Bring it home. This is Sports 1440.
Get ready, Oilers fans. During the finals, make a deposit with promo code Gregor50 to snag a $50 free sports bet with your next deposit. Get ready for unbeatable promotions throughout the finals with 10+ odds boosts on every Oilers playoff game. Score a chance to win amazing prizes like season seats for the 2024-25 season, or 5 pairs of seats to 5 separate Oilers games for the 2024-25 season, just by making a bet on an Oilers playoff game at playalberta.ca. Join the excitement and cheer on the Oilers. Let's bring it home. Bonus terms and conditions apply.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Hold on to your hockey helmet, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 60-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot.
And Molson Canadian for $4.50.
OTR's TVs, they're so clear.
You'll see the puck better than the ref.
Plus, every game night during Edmonton's playoff run gives you a chance to be part of the Sack Attack.
You could win a Hyman jersey.
This is our year.
And our time to cheer.
Be a part of the legend.
On the Rocks.
On the Rocks. Jasper Ave 118th.
Take your bedroom to the next level this spring at the Brick. Our bedroom event deals are here to help you renovate on a budget. Save up to $1,200 off sofas and sectionals and get up to 40% off bedroom furniture and mattresses. Plus, buy more, save more. Up to an additional $500 off major kitchen appliances and get free delivery on purchases of $4.99 or more. Take advantage of these fabulous deals today. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
We continue on. Edmonton sports leader, TSN 1260, Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan, Connor Halley with you on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, and Facebook. Thanks for joining us as we inch closer to puck drop for Game 3 tonight. Oh, and you hear Rupp. Everybody's excited. How can you not be, man? Oiler fans, just don't get a speeding ticket. Stay calm. Get yourself home, or you're coming on the rocks. It is feel, man. The jerseys are filing in fast and quick. So get here. There's still a few great seats available. If you want to get in to watch tonight's game, you can do it Jasper Ave and 118th Street. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick, where right now, man, great deals going on, but they end this weekend. You can save up to $1,200 off on sofas or sectionals. The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys. Question number 1. Let's get a score prediction for the game and also who gets the first goal of the game, either team.
Score prediction. I'm going to say 4-2, and I had Hyman getting the first one as soon as the game ended. I just think he's hungry. We've been talking about Draisaitl and McDavid, but this guy had 50-odd goals, man. I think he's going to do it. I think he's coming out within the first 10 minutes. And if he doesn't get one, if I'm wrong, that means he's going to get 2.
Ooh, all right. I think I had that 4-1, and first goal. I'm going to say I got a lot of guys do. But yeah, I got to think it's going to be one of the big guns. I will say I'm going to say Dylan Holloway with an assist from Draisaitl.
Question number 2. Rupper talked about it a little bit there. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of an impact do you think the crowd will be down at Rogers tonight for tonight's game?
Good question. I think it's going to be significant because if Edmonton scores first, it just, it's going to be, I think, a little bit of release of nervousness that just turns into exuberance. And then if Florida scores first, I think it's going to be the fans say, okay, we got to try to will our team back into the game. So I think it's going to be it's going to be loud, as loud as it was last game. Well, and Game 6 wasn't that loud because obviously how the game went, but Game 4 was pretty loud. It's going to be louder. And then I think Saturday night will likely be louder just because the deeper you go in the playoffs, the more intense it gets.
Yeah, 1 to 10, I'm going to go 10. I really think so. Well, yeah, that's what I think. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to come out right off the bat. I think the fans are going to be, it's known for being an absolutely raucous building. And there's no better, to me, pumped up crowd in sports, at least right now. And I got no reason to think that it's going to be anything but bonkers. And I'm hoping it because I got my big screen set up. Got my hot tub set up. I'm going to watch from the hot tub, boys. I can't wait.
Question number 3. What do you guys make of the Blues' succession plan to have Alex Steen take over for Doug Armstrong during the 2025-26 season?
What do I think of the... Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things. I'm not on the inside. I don't know. I think Steen, I mean, he's there. He's won a cup. He's played for St. Louis. Bit of a legend there. Players loved him. Good leader. They know what they're doing. I don't. I think if the St. Louis Blues are willing to make that decision, all the more power to them. And I'm sure that they know him more than a lot of other people. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with my gut and say that they're making the right decision.
Yeah, it's odd in the sense that, you have a 2-year succession plan and they outline that. I guess my question would be, what was the need to announce that Steen, like, why can't he just be the assistant GM for 2 years, right? And behind the scenes, you know what it is? Like, I don't know. That's my only, I'm not saying it's bad at all, but I don't know, things can change, right? So I guess they lock him up because they felt like they didn't want to lose him to somewhere else, but couldn't they have told him, Alex, this is our plan. We signed the contract that states this is what we're going to do. We just don't announce it. That's all. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I'm just curious, what's the motivation to do it?
Good point.
Question number 4. The Atlanta Falcons were stripped of a 2025 5th-round draft pick, also fined $250,000 for tampering in free agency. I just want to ask you guys, do you think that is a big enough fine? Like, is that going to deter people? A late-round pick, $250,000 for $1 billion franchise, if the other side of it is you're getting a stud player?
Dude, I think they're like, what? He's like, here, just wait. Let me lift up my coach. Shh. Oh, here's a few coach cushions for the billionaire guy. I'm going to get $500,000. Come on. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's, I don't know. And now maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's like a rule on what's the max you can fine a team. But yeah, it seems like it's not going to really punish him that much.
Yeah, it's laughable. The people that are being punished have many times. They just have a lot of money, and I don't think that makes a dent in their wallet. So why wouldn't you go after a franchise player? It wouldn't make sense not to.
That's what I thought. Okay, final question for you guys today. The Olsen twins, Mary Kate and Ashley, celebrating their birthdays today. So who would you say is your favorite set of twins?
Go ahead, Jason.
Oh, favorite set of twins. Well, it's an interesting question, Cons, because are Arnold and DeVito considered twins? No, I'm kidding. I would probably go with the Doublemint twins.
The Doublemint twins.
What about you, TR? Yeah.
Oh man. My favorite twins. The Doublemint twins is a great answer. I don't think a lot of the audience knows what you're talking about, but it is. I'm not sure. I can't think of any twins, to be honest. All the twins I know are here. I can think of octuplets. The Sutters aren't twins. Like, give me some. The Stalls aren't twins. Who's twins?
Kiki and Rondé Barber.
God, there's not a whole lot.
Of course.
The Winklevoss twins.
I know what a twin is. I'm just saying. Yeah. Just to be clear, I just can't think of any famous twins. The Olsen twins would.
Yeah.
Like, it refresh me. Am I nuts here? There must be more than that.
Well, no,
and if not, there should be. Imagine if you had an actor or something, and he or she had a twin. I mean, the Olsens, yes, but they stopped. What an advantage that would be. Tom Cruise, you're not available? Well, we're going to do Mission Impossible 7 with your brother.
How about Dylan and Cole Sprouse? They were the twins in Big Daddy with Adam Sandler. Became
not even on the radar. The twins.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go with
the two-level celebrities. The twins in Big Daddy.
Well,
Good Lord.
They went on to The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and then one of them did Riverdale on Netflix.
Okay, that's something, I guess. I mean, not that Big Daddy wasn't entertaining whenever it came out. The listing, yeah. I don't know. That's the question. I'm drawing a blank. You still haven't convinced me of any twins that are reputable enough to be famous.
What about the Sedins?
There. Okay, the Sedins. And they are fascinating. By the way, they would be, I'm terrible that you had to lead me here like this, but what I do love about the Sedins, I would probably have picked them anyway had I thought this out, is, they all that career and they came so close in points. God, you know what I mean? Like, they don't just look the same or even act the same. It's of all that career and all those years that they would come like 2 points. It was just wild how they did things.
Text line says Rich and Ron Sutter, the Bella twins in WWE.
So the Sutters were twins. Okay, I didn't realize that there was any twins in there. Okay.
Yeah. The two youngest ones are Rich and Ron. Yeah. The Bella twins. Okay, there you go. We got a lot of texts I can't repeat, but they're funny. So, yeah, we'll see. TR, enjoy the game. Hey, get in the hot tub, do some stretching, and we will talk to you on Tuesday. Will there be? I guess so. Tuesday would be. Will there be a game 6 Tuesday or game 5 Tuesday night?
Yeah, well, of course. And I would have, but by the way, remember I said I was going to come out there, but my daughter has soccer this weekend in Buren, and Buren's a couple hours, little road trip for them. They're really excited. And when she asked me when I was going, because she's out in Alberta now, she's on her way back. And she said, "You're going to my game, right?" And here I had a ticket. I was about to buy my ticket to Edmonton with my buddy Tino Borges and Jeff Martin, two of my real good friends. Anyway, duty calls. I'm going to be a soccer dad in Buren, Newfoundland instead.
Oh, well, hey, buddy, you'll enjoy that for sure. Thanks, TR. We'll chat with you Tuesday.
Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Edmonton. I'll catch you guys on the rebound.
Let's get to the comment on a Sports 1440 update brought to you by High Street Insurance. 10 years. They started in Edmonton. They just continue to grow and expand across the country, but Edmonton is always home. Go Oilers, go from highstreetinsurance.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day, the Oilers and Panthers meeting in just about an hour and 15 minutes. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. Panthers up 2-0. Off the ice, the Rangers have signed Ford Kapelkaka to a 1-year contract extension worth $2.4 million. From the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars signing a big deal with quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Sources saying 5-year extension worth $275 million. That's $55 a year with $200 million guaranteed. In the majors right now, score between the Cubs and the Rays. That one is in the first inning. Still earlier today, the Braves knocked off the Orioles 6-3. Tigers over the Nationals 7-2. And you had the Cards over the Pirates 4-3. Royals beat the Yankees by that same score. Still to come, Marlins, Mets, Red Sox, Phillies, Athletics take on the Twins. Diamondbacks host the Angels, the White Sox in Seattle, and the Dodgers taking on the Rangers. In the WNBA, 2 games underway very early. Wings lead the Storm 6-0, and the Fever up on the Dream 4-2. Later tonight, the Aces in Phoenix to take on the Mercury. And at the U.S. Open, Patrick Cantley right now atop the leaderboard, a tie with Rory McIlroy after one round. Ludwig Aberg sitting at -4. Canadians right now, Corey Connors, -1. Mackenzie Hughes and Taylor Pendrith are even. Adam Svensson, 3 over. Adam Hadwin and Nick Taylor, 4 over. And amateur Ashton McCulloch currently sitting 5 over par. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet, Kevin Karras of the Kevin Karras Show, and we'll hear from members of the Edmonton Oilers. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Solid financial plan is made up of more than just investments. Investments are an important part, but you need a more comprehensive approach. Roger Weird at Weird Pearson Akel & Associates Private Wealth Management understands that. He can help build a plan that includes retirement, estate planning, personal insurance, tax strategies, and yes, investments. Talk to him today and see the difference a real financial plan makes. Weird Pearson Akel & Associates. Call 780-988-4119 or visit weirdadvisoryteam.com.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Enio and Jason are friends. Hey, buddy. What's up, buddy? Except when they talk hockey. Edmonton had all those first overall picks, and they still can't win.
Yeah, but we still beat you. Battle of Alberta champs, baby.
But ask them who makes the best beef jerky in Alberta, and they'll tell you.
We'll hawk beef jerky.
It might be the only thing Alberta hockey fans can agree on.
Pick up some Wilhauk beef jerky today in Leduc, Spruce Grove, and West Edmonton Mall.
For a limited time at McDonald's, enjoy the tasty breakfast trio. Your choice of chicken or sausage McMuffin or McGriddles with a hash brown and a small iced coffee for $5 plus tax. Available until 11 a.m. at participating McDonald's restaurants. Price excludes flavored iced coffee and delivery.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Hi, it's Jason Gregor. We're looking for an experienced salesperson to join us as we continue to grow the Sports 1440 brand across the province. Of course, you'll sell Mornings with Karras, Low Tide Show, The Frenzy, as well as my show. No radio sales experience is needed, but you need some sales experience. You have to love sports, and you must be a hunter and driven. The base salary plus commissions for this great opportunity, and trust me, you'll have loads of fun working with us. Email your resume to gregor@sports1440.ca. We look forward to having you on the team.
You adore your Audi, value your Volkswagen, baby your Beamer. But some of that love fades when repairs take several days and tons of cash for the dealership to do their magic. Let Cochran's Automotive rekindle the flame. They'll professionally repair your import, usually in one day. Audi, BMW, Mercedes, Volkswagen, Honda, and Toyota. Cochran's Automotive will return her to mint condition. Open at 7 a.m. Let Cochran's Automotive repair your automotive air conditioning before things heat up. Cochran's Automotive, 780-452-5001.
Get up, pack it in, let me begin. I came to win, battle me, that's a sin. I won't ever slack up, I'll give it a back up. Try and play the role and you're the whole.
We roll through, getting closer to game day on game time on Sports 1440. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, live on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube and Facebook. Some of you watching on Twitter and Instagram. Everybody's fired up, man. The text line is humming, 833-401-1440. A little bit of nervous energy, I would think, but also many people pretty confident the Oilers are going to show up. The Oilers are a good team, right? And obviously, hey, no better time to show it than tonight. And hey, if you feel they're a good team, go to playalberta.ca. Use the promo code Gregor50, Gregor50, and you'll get a free $50 play with a minimum $5 purchase. Remember, teams that are 0-2 to start the Stanley Cup Final, then they come home for Game 3, are 10-2 in Game 3s, including the Panthers last year, Tampa Bay in 2002, and you go down the list, it's happened quite a bit here, including the Edmonton Oilers in 2006. Now, let's get to the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, proudly local, started right here in Edmonton, has built up 50 years. Loyalty and honesty, big thanks again to everybody who supported them, and they want to say, like you, go Oilers tonight from GS Construction as Mark Spector joins us. And Spec, hey, you know what? It was interesting listening to the players today and just how the Oilers seem pretty focused on, I think they know what to do, right? Like I like what Knobloch said. He goes like, we don't even really need much practice time. It's not like you're going to try something new. It's just, you really got to hammer home the details and be confident that you can do it. Yeah.
And I would show a complete lack of confidence in the people you have and the things you've done.
And I will say this, Jay, the last couple days around here, the one thing I have not smelled or heard or sensed in any way is a lack of confidence. Not in any way. This Oilers team appears to be absolutely ready to bring the best they've got tonight and thinking that if they bring it, it's going to be enough.
Do you think their best would be good enough to get a win?
I do. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Listen, don't tell me they played their best. They haven't scored.
Yeah.
Right? Edmonton's best doesn't come with less than 3 or 4 goals scored, pal. Like, their best means goals. You can't play their best without goals. So, yeah, they played good in game 1. They didn't play near their best because the puck never went in. So, you want to beat the Oilers at their best, right? You better score 6 because their best puts pucks in the net. So, no, they haven't come close to their best yet.
Yeah. No, I would agree. And, I'm curious just to see, how they play. And what's your expectation on lineup? Is it 11-7? Is it 12-6? Who do you think's in? Who do you think's out?
I'm never going to predict a guy who's not ever gone 11-7 is going to switch to it in a game this important. I'm not saying it can't happen, and I'm not calling guys who are saying that dummies or anything, but I would never predict a guy to go that far off the script in this juncture of a Stanley Cup final. So I say they're going 12-6. I think Kane's going to be out. I think Nurse is going to be in. And there's a little bias here because I hate 11-7, and I watched Woodcroft do it for all those times, and I never walked out of the rink at the end of the night thinking, man, they won that game because of all the advantages of being 11-7. Every time I walked out of the rink, I was like, why'd they play Broberg 3 minutes? So yeah. I hate 11-7, and I don't think he'll do it.
Okay. So Nurse is, Nurse is in. Well, what about maybe Nurse isn't in, right? Because Cody Ceci was off the ice very early today, Spec.
Well, probably because they're not too sure.
Yeah.
I think Nurse didn't skate yesterday. Nurse didn't skate today. Nurse is going to take the warm up here. And there's no question that they're not positive on Nurse. And I'll be honest with you, this is a time when you need Nurse to give you the most honest answer of his career. Right? Nurse has to really look deep inside himself and decide, can I play a whole game here at the level I need to play at? Basically, can I give my team a better night tonight than a healthy Cody Ceci is going to give my team? And honestly, the trainers and the doctors are part of this thing. The biggest part is Darnell Nurse. He's got to be honest with himself and with his team.
Yeah. And I get it. Guys want to play, so I understand it. But, you gotta look at the big picture and where do you see yourself as a team? Where do you see your ability to help your team? And then you kind of evaluate it from there. But yeah, it's not going to be an easy decision. I think that's totally fair.
Nope.
And it's just a matter of do they?
I'm looking at it like this, Jay. If I'm Darnell Nurse, if I sit out, I give my team a better chance. If I feel like sitting out gives my team a better chance to win, and we win, then we got a lot of series for me to get back into. If I play, hurt my team, and we lose, we're done. So, if he wants to get in this series, he may decide that the best move for him is not to play tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I just like the mindset of, you'd really have to know yourself to know, because there's so often guys think they can go. Right. You're like, oh, no, I'll be able to go. Right. And like it's history's talked about that lots. Some are revered by it. Others, didn't. John Avery in the Grey Cup. Oh, I'm healthy. And then he didn't last. Right. And it screwed their team over. So, right. So and then there's other guys that have, they played through it and everyone's like, oh, that's amazing that you played. So yeah, it's, we'll see. Like, obviously it's, they'll know. Like, I don't think warm-up spec determines anything. Like, it's not, we've watched warm-up for decades. There's no speed.
It does in Darnell Nurse's head. It does in Darnell Nurse's head, because he goes out there, he skates, he makes his pivots, he shoots some pucks. Put it this way. It might not convince him that he's ready to play 60 minutes. That might be something else. If he figures out in warm-up that he can't play, he may learn that. Right? He may learn, hey, I just can't. I haven't skated for 2 days. Here I am. I'm out on the ice. I'm skating around. I am not ready to play hockey tonight. He may figure that out in the warm-up.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, it'll be fascinating if they do. Now, Sam Carrick doesn't look like he's playing spec. He was out late, and that's normally a sign. Like if you're off early, you got a chance to play. If you're off late, there's virtually no chance. Right?
Yeah, it looks like Ryan's in, right?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. And Ryan and Corey Perry. And so if Kane's out, like then you take Carrick out. Like, man, you're a team that hasn't been that gritty against them anyway. That like the Carrick for Ryan, if that's a trade, I'm curious why. Like, what did Derek Ryan help you in Dallas? I don't get it.
Well, I mean, I hear exactly what you're saying, but I think I'll try to play devil's advocate here. What aren't you doing in this series? You're not scoring goals, right? Ryan's a better scorer than Carrick every day. I'm not telling you he's coming in as a goal scorer, but if he gets a chance, he's way better with it than Carrick's ever going to be. So that's one thing. The other thing is,
okay,
are we getting caught up in trying to beat Florida at their game? Are we trying to be Florida, or are we trying to beat Florida? We're not. The Edmonton Oilers aren't going to pound. They didn't win the physical battle over Vancouver. They were never going to. They're not. They're not winning the physical battle over Florida, and they're never going to. Don't be the Leafs against Boston and get way out of character trying to match them hit for hit. It never works for Toronto. To me, maybe the Oilers should be getting a little more offensive and get this game played on their terms. Right now, the series has absolutely been played on Florida's terms. Let's get this thing in your rink, played on your terms. And maybe if you move the puck fast enough and you got enough good people making smart offensive plays and moving pucks and playing fast, maybe they're not hitting you so much because maybe they can't catch up to you.
Possibly. I don't mind that theory, Spec. I guess my only concern is like Derek Ryan hasn't done anything in the playoffs, and so I don't know. The Carrick for Ryan, like I know it seems like a small thing because it's like it's year 4, but Sam Carrick's 66% in the faceoff in this series. The Oilers' top 3 guys, like Henrique's 25%, McDavid is 33%, Draisaitl's 49%, and you know what? The same guys are all in the lineup in the faceoff dot for Florida tonight. And, I don't think faceoffs have been the do-all end-all. It's not like they've had goals scored off of them, but we all know it's a possession game, and Edmonton's talked about how, we need the puck more. So I don't know. I thought Sam Carrick won a lot of battles last game. And what was Knobloch's whole message today? Play fast, win battles. Play fast, win battles. Well, you're taking out a guy who won a lot of battles.
Okay. We're also spending a lot of time talking about a fourth-line player who's going to play 11 minutes. You know who's got to get better here? All your middle 6 wingers. Perry's got 0 goals in the playoffs. Fogel's got 1 goal in the playoffs. McLeod, he has been invisible for 20. We played 20 games here. We're 20 games in now. This is a quarter of a season. McLeod's got 1 goal and has probably passed up 50 hits, right? Holloway's got 3 goals, hasn't scored in 8 or 9 games. These are your middle 6 wingers. Edmonton's excellent down the middle with McDavid and Draisaitl and Henrique. They've never been better. The Draisaitl and Henrique, they got no wingers, right? Let's leave the fourth line guys to do whatever the hell they're going to do. How about the guys in the middle that are supposed to produce? Like what happened to Warren Foegele? What happened to Ryan McLeod? You can't win with 3 centermen playing well and a couple wingers up top. Those guys don't show up. We're not going to be talking about Sam Carrick in 6 or 7 days. We're going to be talking about cleaning out a locker here.
Yeah, no, that's true. Their depth guys have to get going. I don't know. I like Carrick's game, so we'll for what he brings and what you ask him to bring, I think he's done fine. So we'll see. The ultimates, whether it's Ryan or Carrick, I will agree. Like they're not going to be I wouldn't think. Never know. We just had Mike Rupp on the show. Spec came out of nowhere, scored 3 goals, 3 points in Game 7. So you never know who can be the guy on any given day. I look at the order matchup. It's funny. Maurice said, "You know what? We don't play Barkov as much about McDavid." And then Gustav Forsling came out and said in his interview that, "You know what? Well, the minute McDavid changes, I'm going to try to get off the ice so we can be out there against them more." So, it'd be kind of interesting which, is Paul Maurice smoke and mirrors here? Is we going to see Barkov a lot? Are they going to change the line? Like, I'm going to watch in the first period a little bit of the cat and mouse game and see what we uncover.
Well, listen, I think that every single team that the Oilers ever play McDavid sees their best pairing. Didn't LA do that with Doughty's pair? Right? I'm Doughty and what's his name? Mikey Anderson.
Yep.
Yes. Right? Didn't Vancouver do it with their top pair? Didn't he see those big guys all the time? Or I don't know if he didn't use Quinn Hughes much because he wasn't playing very well, but didn't Tanev play every single possible shift against Connor McDavid? So Sure. Is Paul Maurice got his best pair against McDavid? Be an idiot not to, right? I don't. That's just the way it is when you're. That's what makes it so crazy that he dominates the way he does, because he never sees a third pairing, basically, right? He only plays against the best in the world, and he still wins Art Ross most years.
Yeah. So give me one last one, Spec. The key for an Oilers victory tonight.
The key for the Oilers victory is to start playing this game. I don't want to. I'm not stealing this from Knobloch that he wants to be faster and win his battles. Yeah, they have to make cleaner, better, faster plays. A team that wants to hit you, right? That means they want to be. They're walking out of position and they expose themselves to being beaten. A team whose defensemen on the offensive blue line step up the way Florida's do. We're all watching this, right? The puck comes around the boards, the Oiler gets it on the wall, and that defenseman in his face. That defenseman exposes himself to being beat. That winger needs to make a play to the middle of the ice and get that puck going north. This is skill and speed against aggression and physicality to a large extent. And right now, the aggressive play and physicality is winning the day. Edmonton has to win the day. They got to get the game going their way. They have to get Florida being late on hits, which means power plays and means out of position and means odd man breaks. If they continue to execute at the level they're executing at, and they can't expose the defenseman stepping up and the aggressive play by Florida, they just won't win because Florida's been better at it.
Spec, we'll see you at the rink, man. I'm excited. We'll see what happens tonight. Enjoy it.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
There you go. That's Mark Spector and the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. We'll get back more on the Oilers. The lineup is, what's interesting, this 11-7. I know a lot of people now. Ceci did come off early. Well, I don't even know if the warm-up's really going to give you an indication. You're going to see who's out there. Like, we'll probably know if it's Ryan or Carrick. Fine. I don't think it's Carrick, but now Kane, if he's out for warm-up, I got to think he's playing, right? So lots of questions still to be answered here in the next hour before game 18th. You can keep texting us in 833-401-1440 in our eWell inbox.
Take your bedroom to the next level this spring at the Brick. Our bedroom event deals are here to help you renovate on a budget. Save up to $1,200 off sofas and sectionals and get up to 40% off bedroom furniture and mattresses. Plus, buy more, save more, up to an additional $500 off major kitchen appliances. And get free delivery on purchases of $4.99 or more. Take advantage of these fabulous deals today. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Scott here from Sherwood and St. Albert Dodge. It's our biggest sale of the year. This month, every new and used vehicle we have has been marked down and priced to sell. We have Ram trucks that are 25% off, brand new trucks, and we have hundreds to choose from. We have 0% financing up to 72 months on Grand Cherokee. Even though we know our prices are great, every single offer will be considered. We will work to get you the best financing terms. We will pay top dollar for your trade. We will do what it takes to earn your business. It's our biggest sale of the year, and it's on now at St. Albert and Sherwood Dodge.
Gather around the radio, kiddies, for the best time of day. It's Oodle Noodle time. Listen in this week as your noodle hero battles the barbarous Bobby Burger. Now sing along. You know the words. Oodle Noodle time. Oodle Noodle time. You know what time it is now. Get up and give me your best Oodle Noodle dance. Your best time of day is Oodle Noodle time.
Debt. Most of us have it, but it's the last thing we want to talk about. When we're struggling, we need someone to talk to. We want to be heard without judgment. My name is Parveen Middleton, and I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I talk with people about debt every day. I can help you find the solution to fit your situation. Talking about it is the first step to relief. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to learn more.
It's City Ford's Father's Day event. Join us this Saturday for a barbecue, indoor golf, games, and gifts for your dad.
During this Father's Day event, get massive discounts up to $22,000 on brand new F-150s, up to $8,000 on Edges and Broncos, up to $4,700 on brand new Escapes. Plus, 0% financing options are available. Just pick what's best for you.
Get a 2024 Bronco Sport for $209 bi-weekly or a 2023 F-150 Super Crew for only $297 bi-weekly.
We have 17 previously owned SUVs, all under $500 a month, like a 2020 all-wheel drive Escape, only $187 bi-weekly. Plus, we have trucks galore. Get a 2021 F-150 Super Crew for only $258 bi-weekly.
Exclusive to City Ford. With every purchase, spin and win a barbecue, pressure washer, TV, pizza oven, or a trip to Vegas.
Join us this Saturday for a Father's Day barbecue, indoor golf, cornhole toss, giant pong game, ice cream sundaes, fun for the entire family, and a gift for your dad. But it's only at City Ford on the St. Albert Trail.
Try the new extra-large New York-style crispy pepperoni pizza only from Papa John's. Get you some of that crispy, curly, cuppy pepperoni on top of an extra-large New York-style crust pizza with creamy tomato sauce and a 3-cheese blend. This ain't around forever, so walk fast like you're in NYC and order one now. The extra-large New York-style crispy pepperoni pizza for just $22.99, only at Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, better get you some.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Move Water. Check your sump pumps. No one likes a wet basement. And fellow farmers, Move Water offers water conditioning for all types of water. Stay on top of your water at movewater.ca, formerly Stoll Pumps.
Kickoff. It's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
527. Hey, boys, you know what I love about your station? All the different opinions, and I'm just more fired up. I can't wait for the game. I'm not even going to the game. Thanks for keeping us entertained all throughout the playoffs. We're happy to have sports radio back. That one comes in from Dallas. Well, Dallas, we appreciate that. And hey, you know what? If we all agreed, that'd be boring as hell. But it's good to get a little chat. Let's get to the lineup report now, brought to you by Sherwood Park Power Sports and Marine. Now, you got a boat. You got a trailer. You need a little TLC, or you're looking just for an oil change. You're looking for parts. They got it all. Any make and model, ATVs, boats, all of it. Check it out at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. And the lineup report, Kevin Karras, host of the Kevin Karras Show here on Sports 1440. Join us, KK. What do you think? Are the Oilers going 11-7, 12-6? What is your former U of A Bears player, Chris Knobloch, going to do tonight?
I would be very surprised if they went 11-7. I hope you can hear me right now. I'm inside Rogers Place, and they got the music pumping pretty good. But they just actually showed a guy on the Jumbotron right now chugging a full tall boy. He gunned it down in about 8 seconds, the whole thing. So this place is jumping already. I don't know. I would be very surprised to go 11-7, but if that is an option that Chris Knobloch believes can have success tonight, then he thinks it's the right decision, then so be it. But I would be surprised if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on 11-7. I was like, I don't know. Like, I know CC went off early. Maybe that's just precaution to say, hey, we want you off early because we're not sure if Darnell's playing or not. You know what? 8 hours difference could maybe, we'll see how he feels, and away they go. Regardless of who plays, the message from every player today was we got to be smarter. We got to simplify the small details, win battles on the boards, be quicker to pucks. Ryan McLeod mentioned how he thought they allowed Florida to break out so easily last game that they just got tired because they were chasing their back checking all the time. And it's like a harder fatigue. So, it's an interesting thing, something I hadn't heard, players talk about. And so I'll be watching not only the Oilers breakouts tonight, Dick, but also how they forecheck to not allow Florida to continually just come out clean and untouched.
Just to start the very beginning part of that question, Greg, just regarding Darnell Nurse and Cody Ceci coming off early this morning, sometimes a player might have to have an injection, and you never know how that can happen and how it can work and what can happen. So I would believe that Ceci would have come off just in case, to be ready if something happens, when prior to game time, if you have to have some sort of a treatment. As to your second part, yeah, that's a different part of the game that we didn't see the Oilers really concerned about because of the speed. But I don't know if that's just one area. I think they have to be faster in all areas. If you look back to the very first game of the series, they were the faster team. And then once Florida kicked it in, the Oilers didn't move it up a notch either. So I think probably in all areas, including their forecheck and the back check, they can have a little more speed and getting back to puck. I think that's a lot on the back. And if they can get back to the puck retrieval and then also make sure that they have that outlet pass quicker. I think that's going to be a factor. But one thing that I said all along, Greg, is just keep, and Leon Draisaitl said it, when they play their best, they can beat anyone. And the other thing is, if you don't beat yourself, that's one of the key aspects here. Look at it in game 2. It's 1-1 in the third period. And then what happened? They beat themselves. Evan Bouchard makes an ill-advised play. It's 2-1. Leon Draisaitl makes a hit and takes a penalty, and it was worth a penalty. So that's hurting your team. And then the third part is then they scored on the power play. Florida did with the 6 seconds left. So don't beat yourself. Don't put yourselves in that position where you can make a play that will harm the outcome of the game for your team.
Kevin Karras joins us. Kevin, the atmosphere tonight, it is the Stanley Cup Final. And it's been 18 years since it's been in Edmonton. You got the concert going outside already. And I just tonight's going to be a different level, right? It's going to be a different level of noise. And I really think the Oilers players they're really anticipating. I don't think they're going to get caught up in the emotion. I think they're going to kind of ride the emotional wave.
Controlled emotion. And I think they're looking forward to it so much. And they've heard all these stories about the final in 2006 at Rexall Place and how everyone says, well, that building was way louder than this building. I think the fans are going to not be happy about those comments and make it even louder today. I came down probably around 4:15, wanted to see what it was like outside, walked around, came inside the building. And as you know, I mean, the NHL has taken things totally over here. There's an overflow press box break that people started lining up at 2 o'clock to get into. I started getting their seats, putting their stuff down. And it's just, it's hard to explain how big of a monumental event this is until you get down here. For sure.
Oh yeah, no, it's a different feel. There's no question about it. Like the whole community rink ice surface is all tables. Yeah. Like the working media, I met people from Japan today that are coming. Like the NHL, this is a global event right now, and you've got people from all over Sweden. Of course, lots of German people here, of course, because of Leon Draisaitl, but they're from all over the place, man. And yeah, I think like the building, I know what the capacity says tonight, but something tells me it might be a little bit more. And then outside and everywhere else here and on the rocks, it's you know what? I've been here for games before in the playoffs. It's never this full this early. So it's and there's still some room left, by the way, if you're making your way down here to OTR. So there is some tables left.
I can tell you, Greg, you're sitting beside in the press box right beside Check TV and TVJOJ, and I'm not sure exactly what that is, but and then on the other side of us where we're sitting tonight is the guys that are running the laser show. There's a laser show that runs on the scoreboard, and inside, it's actually some of it's on right now. I can see, but they're just kind of testing things out. So it's quite amazing. And already we're, 8 minutes before warm-up has started, about to start, and people are already obviously filing in and getting already lubricated for tonight's game.
Oh, yeah, I would think pace yourselves, everybody who's going to the games or watching wherever you're at. Pace yourself. D-Bird, we'll let you go. We'll get set for the game, and it should be a load of fun here tonight. The Oilers and the Florida Panthers, the first Stanley Cup final game in Edmonton in 18 years.
Thanks, Greg. See you down here, big guy.
There you go. That's Kevin Karras from Global Sport. Now, I do want, before we go, I want to get to the Aaron Ekblad comment. Cons, you have the Aaron Ekblad interview queued up? We ready to roll with that? Okay, yeah, good. Here's Aaron. I want you to listen to a few things about Ekblad. It talks about Gustav Forsling. They talk about how they defend McDavid specifically, but just started off about, their success defending as a group in their own zone.
Yeah, it's a 6-man unit, obviously. A lot of times we were saying 5-man unit, but we forget about how damn good Bob's been. So, it's a team effort all over the ice. Gaps have to be perfect. You have to trust in the other players on the ice to do their job, and when they don't, somebody's got to pick them up. So, that's just kind of how we do it.
Cap Air, the home team, whether it's game 1 or game 3, that first game, seemingly they've had a big advantage in winning. How do you overcome that tonight?
Well, it's just all part of it, right? We got to come in and get to our game quickly. A bit of a long travel day yesterday. I hear some of the other media talking about it. It's we got a good rest last night, so we should be ready to go and just got to get to our game quickly.
How would you describe the way this team seems to figure out its opponent more and more as the series goes on?
We have to learn. Obviously, our our coach staff does a really good job bringing us video and giving us, analytic stats and different quirks and things we need to do on a daily basis to make us better. And we don't stop that even when we win. So it's important that they continue to bring us that even when we win. They bring us something new to counter every single day.
After last game, Paul said that he took a great team, and his mandate was to make it a great playoff team. We saw that in Washington with Bouchard, who said that Trotz made him play more defensively. Would you say that it's a bit of the same thing for you in the last couple of years, where you might have put more emphasis on the defensive side of the game?
Yeah, my mind's always been geared towards defense, but yeah, you could say that now, given the role, not necessarily on the power play, it's more important for me to just pay attention to their top talent and find a way to impact the game in a different way than offense. I still like to try and be a part of the offense, but you got to try and impact the game whatever way you can. And for me and Forsling, it's more on the PK and it's on the defensive side. But I'm happy with the transition.
Was that an adjustment that you brought, or something that was asked from you?
I think that the game demanded it. The team demanded it more. Just the atmosphere of what we have going on, right? I mean, the game demands more defense. I got to play more defense. That's just it's.
Aaron, you play with Fords, and for a lot of people who maybe don't see him a lot, you're side by side. What impresses you most about his game?
For him, he's got a lot of guys you see that have the feet sometimes lack like the angles and stuff like that. He's got the feet and he's got the smarts, and he can still play angles and stuff like that. When guys rely on their feet too much, they'll get out of position. And they rely on their feet to get back in position. He doesn't need that. He is constantly in the right spot, and he's got the feet to match. So it's incredible what he can do. He's got great hands. He moves the puck extremely well, and he's got a knack for offense, as we've seen so far.
Well, there you go. There's Aaron Ekblad, Panthers and the Oilers. We are live and on the rocks. Jasper Ave 118. Stop in, get down here. There's still a few seats left, and it is full. It's going to be awesome. So enjoy it wherever you're at. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Connor Halley, Declan Kruger will take you home the rest of the way. Hear a few more clips from the Edmonton Oilers and more. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Shuttle for McDavid. Dive set steal.
Let's bring it home. This is Sports 1440.
Finals fever is here, and it's all about the Oilers. We're boosting your odds and enhancing your parlays on all playoff games. Every bet on any game enters you into a draw to win seats for the 2024-25 hockey season, or 5 pairs of seats to 5 separate Oilers games for the 2024-25 season. Use promo code Gregor50 when you deposit at PlayAlberta.ca to receive a $50 free sports bet. Join the excitement and cheer on the Oilers. Let's bring it home. Bonus terms and conditions apply.
A premier hockey solution with a clear path for long-term development is proud to be entering its 8th season of independent borderless hockey, featuring provincial and cross-province competition with showcase style, regular season gameplay, and a strong commitment to individual skill development. It's an attractive option for those seeking family life balance. The Hockey Super League offers opportunities for both male and female athletes born between 2011 and 2016. Visit hockeysuperleague.com for more information.
For a limited time at McDonald's, enjoy the tasty breakfast trio. Your choice of chicken or sausage McMuffin or McGriddles with a hash brown and a small premium roast coffee for $5 plus tax. Available until 11 a.m. at participating McDonald's restaurants. Price excludes delivery.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies with state-of-the-art motor coaches. We provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation. Our seatbelt-equipped buses have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact Ted Nakamura at 780-940-0880 or visit silentrides.ca.
For over 65 years, Dedham Ford has delivered the customer service and value that keeps Albertans moving. And that tradition continues with the all-new 2024 F-150. Lease one today with $1,000 down and pay just $299 bi-weekly, taxes included. That's the value you've come to expect from where cars always cost less. The F-150 $299 driveway lease, only at Dedham Ford in Wetaskiwin or at DedhamFord.ca.
The ATB Classic is returning to Northern Bear Golf Club.
An international field of professionals will battle it out on their path towards the PGA Tour.
$15 gets you access to the tournament or upgrade your ticket for premium greenside viewing.
Net proceeds go to Youth on Course to give kids aged 6 to 18 access to play golf for just $5.
Come see the future stars of the PGA Tour.
The ATB Classic at Northern Bear Golf Club.
June 27th to 30th.
Get your tickets at atbclassic.com.
Hi, I'm Lorianne Munzer, Canada's first Olympic cycling gold medalist. Are you a business leader or entrepreneur striving to close the gap between where you currently are and what you want to achieve? I have a class for that. My Think and Execute Like an Olympic Gold Medalist Masterclass is designed just for you. Learn how to set clear goals, understand the barriers in your way, and master the habits required for success.
After Lorianne's masterclass, my team was buzzing with motivation and new strategies. Visit lori-annmunzer.com to bring Olympic-level inspiration to your organization.
It's City Ford's Father's Day event. Join us this Saturday for a barbecue, indoor golf, games, and gifts for your dad.
During this Father's Day event, get massive discounts up to $22,000 on brand new F-150s, up to $8,000 on Edges and Broncos, up to $4,700 on brand new Escapes. Plus, 0% financing options are available. Just pick what's best for you.
Get a 2024 Bronco Sport for $209 bi-weekly, or a 2023 F-150 Super Crew for only $297 bi-weekly.
We have 17 previously owned SUVs, all under $500 a month, like a 2020 all-wheel drive Escape, only $187 bi-weekly. Plus, we have trucks galore. Get a 2021 F-150 Super Crew for only $258 bi-weekly.
Exclusive to City Ford. With every purchase, spin and win a barbecue, pressure washer, TV, pizza oven, or a trip to Vegas.
Join us this Saturday for a Father's Day barbecue, indoor golf, cornhole toss, giant pong game, ice cream sundaes, fun for the entire family, and a gift for your dad. But it's only at City Ford on the St. Albert Trail.
Well, welcome back to the Jason Gregor Show here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Declan Kruger with you here. I'm down at the EUL studio. We got Declan down at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th. Declan, a little roll call here. How is the crowd down at OTR right now?
Connor, I can't lie. It's looking healthy. I haven't been down to OTR for too many games. I can't lie to you. I live pretty close to here. Don't make it down too much, but I see why it's a spot. It's healthy. It looks like a fun-loving crowd. Things are going well. Spirits are high. A lot of jerseys, man. It's a good time to be on the Rocks, I'll tell you.
Good to see. Good to hear. And some news coming out of Rogers Place, as it looks like Evander Kane will be out of the lineup, as will Sam Carrick, Corey Perry, and Derek Ryan in. So that's coming out from the rink right now. Evander Kane not going to play in this one. We go back to the speculation about that conversation that was had earlier on today at practice. Maybe that was where it all started. And it does look like Darnell Nurse is on the ice. So there you go. Derek Ryan, Sam Carrick, both taking warm-ups. Oh, maybe we're getting some conflicting reports here.
Oh man, who are you looking at here, Cons?
Well, now we're on.
Lying to you.
Now we're on to Zach Lang. He's got Carrick and Ryan both taking warm-ups here. No sign of Evander Kane, but Darnell Nurse on the ice.
Is it safe to say Evander Kane is the one we can confirm?
Everyone's agreeing. We're all in unison.
Okay.
Evander Kane will not play tonight. 1-833-401-1440. Get your thoughts on that. No Evander Kane in the lineup. I don't think this is a huge surprise, Declan. We had talked about it ad nauseum. Like, he's hurt. He had before the playoffs that sports hernia. He had mentioned that it was going to be tough to play, and for the last couple of games, clearly it's been a factor. We haven't seen him. He's not the same player that he has been. When he's really elevated his game in the playoffs. So not a big surprise here. Maybe you just give him a little couple times here, like kind of like what Speck said with Darnell Nurse. Like, hey, you want to play in more playoff games? Maybe you sit this one out and you let healthy players go out there and try to win the game. But definitely going to see how this one goes without Evander Kane in the lineup for the Oilers. Doug chiming in here. Carrick and Kane out, Ryan and Perry in. So, yeah, that was the original one we had reported there. Doug, thank you for the update. Declan, thoughts going into this one? Obviously, maybe some people won't say it, but a lot of us are. Must-win game for the Oil.
Must-win game for the Oils, certainly. And just to touch on what you said about Evander Kane, yeah, I think the writing was on the wall in his performance. I think a lot of people knew he was not fully healthy. There were reports, of course, about the conversation he had with Chris Knobloch after the morning skate, a lengthy conversation, or maybe it might have been before the morning skate. But regardless, I think a lot of people knew this was probably coming. Now we have confirmation. Listen, if a guy isn't 100%, you can't let him go, not in a situation like this. And then to echo your next point, yes, must-win game. A lot of people don't want to hear it. A lot of people want to believe that this Edmonton Oilers team can right the ship and win 4 in a row if they are to lose tonight. But I think Florida is just too good of a team. It's not a team you can go down 0-3 against. The series is not over, far from it. I expect an Oilers win tonight, but like you said, yes, a must-win.
Lines coming from the Oilers: Nuge, McDavid, Hyman, McLeod, Draisaitl, Perry, Janmark, Henrique, Brown, Holloway on the fourth line, Derek Ryan and Warren Foegele. Your defensive pairings: Ekholm, Bouchard, no surprise, Nurse, Broberg, and then Kulak, Ceci. So we'll see. Cody Ceci draws back into the lineup in this one. No Vinny Desharnais. We thought he'd be out there tonight, so no Vincent Desharnais for the Oils. Stuart Skinner gets the start tonight, and I just want to get the conversation very quickly here. Actually, you know what? We don't have time. We don't have time to do it, Declan. So how about
my goodness. All right. So we just got to run things then is what I'm hearing.
Do you want to hear from Ryan McLeod?
Well, totally up to you, sir. This is your show now.
Let's do it. McLeod's on the second line with Perry and Draisaitl. Let's hear a conversation that he had with Jason earlier on today, talking about playing potentially with Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, obviously playing with Leon, you're going to get a lot more looks. You're going to be on the ice a lot more. So it definitely helps get the confidence going. He also sets you up in such great areas. It takes a lot of load off me. I think when I'm playing center, I have to, worry a lot more about being defensive, and usually we have a matchup against the other team's top line, so it's tough to create in those situations. So I think playing the wing, it's a little bit easier. Yeah.
Do you change your mindset a bit in the offensive zone? Because usually when you're center, you're the puck transporter. With Leon, you're more of a guy who finds the open lane. So do you get to, see the ice different offensively when you're the winger?
Yeah. I think, when I'm, off the rush, I can get my speed going a little bit more, just kind of without the puck and get him to try and maybe spring me or something. But, when I'm playing with him, it's more about, retrieving pucks and getting open for him than me trying to set someone else up. So just doing that.
Lots of guys have talked about, just they want to simplify things for tonight's game and play faster. In game one, I thought you guys actually played really fast. Well, was it just holding on to pucks too long in game two? How do you use your speed? Because all year long, I think you've ranked like top team in the NHL or second as far as a fast team when it comes to burst of speed.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team too. They're gonna, make adjustments and shut us down. I think we got another step we can go in our game. I don't think we were as clean as we could have been on breakouts, and I think they kind of end on our forecheck. I think they kind of slowed us down there, breaking the puck out too easy, and he was tiring us out. So I think we should get a little bit cleaner on our puck touches, and I think we'll be good.
There you go. Ryan McLeod in conversation with Gregor and some of the media earlier today, in case you did miss it momentarily. We just said it. You got McLeod playing with Draisaitl and Perry. Nuge, McDavid, Hyman, no surprise. Janmark, Henrique, Brown, Holloway, Ryan, Foegele. And then on the blue line, Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Broberg, Kulak, Ceci, and Stuart Skinner. We'll see how this one works out. So obviously Vinny Desharnais, Evander Kane, and Sam Carrot coming out. Alex Baumgartner, who joined us on the program earlier today, tweeting out same lines for the Florida Panthers. You're up 2-9. You're probably not going to be making too many changes, but it's going to be something. Declan, prediction for this one tonight. Which way do we see this going?
I do think the Oilers win this one. I think I've seen enough from Bob to know that this is not going to be a 6-5 game the way Low Tide predicted earlier. I think that's ludicrous. I do think they win. I think it's going to take a big defensive performance. I think they get a few past Bob. I'm going to say they win 4-2 with an empty netter.
The friendly confines of Rogers Place. We'll see how it goes for the Oilers. You said 4-2? I said 4-2 earlier today.
You said 4-2?
But maybe we'll just say 4-1 and the Oilers lock it down defensively and get a little bit of a good performance here. If you're looking for
I don't think that's crazy.
Hey, I mean, we'll see what happens. Last game got a little bit out of hand with the empty netter at the end. The first game, Oilers kept it close relatively. Hey, we're going to find out what happens tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. A key will be a good start, finding a way to solve Bobrovsky early on in the game. Declan, OTR looks amazing. If you're looking for a place to watch the game, head down.
It's a party out here, Connor.
Jasper Ave, 118th. Maybe you can hop on the stage behind Declan and dance the night away. It's always a good time.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah. For the YouTube people, try the other way. Let's say there's more
That's
space
crazy.
that way.
How do I not get it? Look at this. Everywhere I go, it's just the same. My fingers are just going the
There
same
you
way.
go.
How crazy is that?
Radio people, I'm sorry. On
insane,
YouTube,
man.
this makes sense. Big thank you to everyone who hopped on the show today. We appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock to recap the game. You got Turn Sports coming up next, and Karras back tomorrow 7 a.m. For Jason Gregor and Duncan Kruger, I'm Connor Halley. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Appreciate it as always. Right now, we're going to get to a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. No payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Stay cool all summer long at legacyheating.ca. Have a great night, everyone. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
And I'm back for a Sports 1440 update. Oilers Panthers. We're about 27 minutes away from puck drop. So if you're looking to get somewhere to watch this game, get going, get there safe. Oilers trail this series 2-0. We did get a bit of a roster update. No Evander Kane for the Edmonton Oilers. Darnell Nurse will play. Sam Carrick draws out of the lineup, as does Vinny Desharnais. Cody Ceci back in. Major League Baseball. Couple games underway right now. Cubs lead the Rays 2-0. You got the Mets and Marlins scoreless, as are the Twins and the Athletics. Phillies trail the Red Sox 4-0. That's in the third. Later tonight, Angels take on the Diamondbacks. Mariners host the White Sox, and the Rangers in Los Angeles taking on the Dodgers. Earlier today, Cards over the Pirates. The Royals knocked out the Yankees 4-3. Tigers over the Nationals 7-2. And the Braves double up the Orioles 6-3. Toronto Blue Jays are back in action tomorrow, kicking off a weekend series with the Cleveland Guardians. In the WNBA Commissioner's Cup, the Fever right now lead the Dream 59-44 at half. Also have Storm up on the Wings 48-40 later tonight. The Mercury take on the Aces. That one gets going at 8 o'clock. U.S. Open action. Patrick Cantley and Rory McIlroy atop the leaderboard at 5 under. Canadians Corey Connors -1. Mackenzie Hughes and Taylor Frederick are even. Adam Svensson 3 over. Adam Hadwin and Nick Taylor 4 over. And amateur Ashton McCullough currently sitting 5 over. And in the NFL today, the Jaguars reaching a contract extension with quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Sources saying it's 5 years, $275 million, 200 of which is guaranteed. That'll do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Up next, we've got Turn Sports from 6 to 9, followed by Fox Sports Radio. Karras, Douglas, and Eddie Steele back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. to recap Oilers Panthers Game 3. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty